The ideas that gave birth to our nation are the ideas that our nation is resistant to right now, and we should talk about that all the time.
In a world where narratives are shaped by corporations and gatekeepers, independent voices matter more than ever. Badlands Media brings together citizen journalists, researchers, and independent thinkers.
The truth is triggering.
Question the narrative. Explore the facts.
It's authenticity, courage, resilience.
Search for the truth others won't.
It's not about being first or being right.
The information war is changing.
It's about being authentic.
Embrace the friction.
Embrace the friction.
Shut the f*** up.
Authentically antagonizing. Join the movement.
I'm going to say how I feel.
Follow Badlands Media.
This is about the future.
The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name. Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again. Watch it. Watch those ballots. Watch what's going on. We all going to watch the fucking video. Do you understand that? To peacefully and patriotic vagina. They're eating the door. They're eating the
You know, none of this is real, right?
You, sir, can eat a bag of dicks.
Give me liberty or give me death!
Baby, see you in the OnlyLands.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to OnlyLands. Brian, what is going on?
Shush.
Okay. We have a great show planned for you. We were just talking about Lindsay Clancy before we went live on the show. Anybody following that?
No,
Chip knows what it is, which I'm proud because
Yeah,
I didn't think anybody else would know.
No, like I said, one of my mutuals covering it pretty extensively, and that's a tough call. I mean, that's if you've had kids and you had postpartum depression, like you know how real that can get in the moment. And
I think
it's a
she's
tough
mad.
call.
Like
I think-
like full on psychological break.
Yeah, I think she broke probably, but I haven't watched any of it. I haven't seen any of her testimony. I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment a lot on it.
She
but
hasn't testified. I don't think she will.
I would venture to bet
Is the idea that she was on some sort of medication and that maybe
she's on a bunch of them. She was prescribed a bunch of them.
she has like
Because-
postpartum
Shocker.
psychosis, is what they're saying.
you mix that with the natural hormones and everything that happens after giving birth, and then mix in a bunch of weird, fucked up chemicals.
Yeah.
I think I've told this story before. A friend of mine. This is not in relate. He didn't murder anybody. He was a missionary over in India, and he was taking. Brian, you mentioned that anti-malarial drugs on Daily today, and you mentioned like having weird dreams. And it, I was going to bring this up tonight because of that, but this ties in with Lindsay Clancy. He was on the rooftop of his building. He would go up there every morning. He was a missionary. He'd read his Bible, watching the sunrise. And he said, and this is like the most straight-laced guy. You could damn near shave with the pleats in his pants because he ironed them every, crisply and folded his sweater perfectly. I mean, the dude was like straight-laced as it gets. He's like, I'm up on the roof, and I've had the overwhelming urge to just jump off, and it freaked him out. So he went back downstairs, and then like over a couple of days, he was terrified to go up on the roof, and then happened to be looking at his bottle of Cipro, which is anti-malarial drug, and one of the side effects was suicidal thoughts. And it was like this guy, there was nothing
an antibiotic?
about it's anti-parasitic, like malarial drug that you're supposed to take, kind of like what he did in the military. You're supposed to take it like on a regimen before you go over there. Like when I went over to Sudan, they gave me that stuff to take, and I didn't take it because like he told me that story. I was like, I'm not doing that.
I used to take ashwagandha because it was like all the rage at the moment because everybody was taking all the supplements because fuck big pharma, right? And so I started taking ashwagandha thinking it was like the big thing, right? You're supposed to fix your whole life. And it messed up like my period and my hormones to the nth degree. It was so bad. And I didn't put two and two together until I deep dove a little more into some of the products that were in ashwagandha. And like there was a tiger, there was some other drug that's in ashwagandha that can mess with your like everything. Like it was like not suicidal thoughts, but pretty dark.
Yeah.
And so I stopped taking it, and then they went away. And I thought, geez, ashwagandha should have like a label. That's
You know what's funny, Ship, is I had a similar experience.
As long
well,
as
not
it's
similar
profitable.
like that.
No, sorry, Jay.
Yeah, no, it's okay. But I just recently had, like maybe a few months ago, I was having heart palpitations. Like when I say heart palpitation, I mean like every 3 seconds my heart was skipping a beat. It was really unnerving, and I knew what it was, but I didn't know what was causing it.
right.
And so I did a little research, and I was looking into some supplements I was taking, and there was ashwagandha in it. And I saw that ashwagandha can cause heart palpitations. I stopped it, and literally the next day it was just gone after like weeks of just having this really unnerving heart situation. So yeah,
It's wild
it can
'cause
be
it's-
powerful.
Yeah, it's like it's positioned everybody's this all natural thing. It's like it's only supposed to elevate your life. It's not supposed to have any kind of. It doesn't really list a lot of side effects or anything like that. It should, but it doesn't. And so now
No,
I'm
it's all
leery about taking
natural. It's
anything.
super safe. It's a
I
natural
know.
alternative, right?
I hate I hate everybody today. So I'm so damn mad at everybody. I don't take your ashwagandha and shove it.
Well,
Shoot.
Yeah.
I think
Second
something
that.
I think something people don't realize is that we're chemical, like bioelectrical chemical, like machines, not machines, but beings. So chemistry is a huge part of like what goes on with our body. So if you're putting anything into your body that is mixing with like the chemistry of your body, it'll mess you up, whether it's food, whether it's drugs, whether it's just like the liquid you put into your body. It all affects you.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fuel, right? When you think about why we need to consume, food and whatnot, it's to fuel our bodies. But then it's like, well, the fuel that we're getting isn't giving us all the stuff we need. So then we need to take these supplements, and that's not inherently a bad thing. But when you're on autopilot and listening to, just like random influencers on Instagram or whatever telling you this thing changed my life. You should totally try this thing. If you don't do the research, this is also the reason that I have such a problem with pharma advertising on television. Because when we have pharma advertising on television, 1997, when they made the changes that they made in the law, there was an explosion of pharma ads on television. And you know what probably happened? They haven't really studied it in depth, which tells you that it probably is what happened. Is there was an explosion of disease as well, because people started identifying with what they saw on the TV as, hey man, I feel that way too. Maybe I need that drug. And then they talk to their doctors. And specifically when it comes to brain meds, which is what this woman was on, a lot of brain meds. When it comes to brain meds, it's all guesswork. They're all guessing.
Yeah, right down to the dose. Like, you don't. They're like, we're gonna try.
Oh, you think you need to take a little more?
Maybe a
How
little
do you
more.
feel
Maybe it was so like when I went in, so I've been big my whole life. I'm a big girl, right? I've done everything. I've done all the diets. There was a point where I went into a doctor, and this is a few years back, and I'm like, look, I'm big. I'm tired of being big. Like, what can I do? And they gave me fen-phen. Like, it's not fen. They don't call it fen-phen now. They call it something else, but it's basically speed. And he's like, well, take one of these every single day. Boy, it worked. I didn't sleep.
You can trust
me,
I'm a doctor.
Yeah, so then I went back
works
and I'm
that
like,
way too, by the way.
this is, yeah. I'm like, this is great, but I lost like 10 pounds in a month. Like, this is great, but boy, I ain't sleeping. So then he's like, well, I got something for you. I had like a psychotic break because I hadn't been sleeping either. So he's like, well, and then they gave me some pills to put me to sleep. So now I'm taking pills to wake me up, and I'm taking pills to go to sleep. And then they wanted to do an anti-anxiety medication because I had super, like, and it just kind of, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do any of this anymore. I'll just be fat. It's fine. It's fine. But boy, then the sleep medication made my legs and my ankles swell up really bad, like with real bad edema. It's awful. The pharma, I can't. And now it seems like the all natural solutions are also starting to become super pharma-y feeling. They're everywhere.
Because I think at the end of the day, people's approach to what is sickness, what is illness, all those things, it's no different. It's just a different answer to those things, rather than looking at symptoms of disease being symptoms of your body trying to detox whatever shit is in it. The solution is, oh, your nose is running. Here, let you take this and it'll stop your nose running, rather than being like, your nose is running because it's trying to get something out. Maybe we should help
blow your nose.
That's what we tell our kids. We're like, just blow your nose. It's trying to like push the whatever you had out.
Oh, you have a cough? Here, let's give you a cough suppressant. No, there's something in your lungs that's trying to come out. You should probably help it.
There was this clip that I play on daily quite often when we talk about pharmaceuticals, and it was this woman that was on Tucker probably like 2 years ago, and she's talking about SSRIs and antidepressants and all this. And the thing that was mind blowing to me was she asked Tucker, she said, how long do you think the clinical trials on a lot of these drugs are? And he says, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years. And she says, no, about 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, gross. Aren't those super addictive too?
Weeks, super addictive.
Oh,
once and the thing is, Ship, they'll tell you, they'll be like, here, take this one and come back in a few weeks and tell me how you feel. Well, Doc, I'm feeling a little bit better, but I'm not sleeping quite as good. And like you said, well, let me change it just a little bit, and we'll put you on this as well. And sooner, before you know it, you're on a cocktail of fucking drugs, and they're just
it's like
stuffing
just
add Ambien. It's no
about
big deal.
diet and
you
exercise.
might have amnesia and kill someone, but it's fine. Don't worry.
They
about
never
it.
ever bring that up. Like I said, I went to the doctor and he didn't talk about tracking my calories or looking at my food or tracking my food or making sure that I go to bed at the same time every night and make sure I have the routine. He didn't talk to me about any of that. He was like, "Well, we got this pill," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, give me the pill."
They don't learn nutrition in med school. There's no nutritional training in med school. Very minimal. Very minimal.
This is beautiful. Like I've been I'm at 120 some days. Track everything I eat. Even when I go over, I track everything I eat. I'm in a calorie deficit, but I feel fucking great. I walk 5 miles a day. I sleep like a baby. Like anxiety.
And no prescriptions.
None. No prescriptions.
Amazing. You were able to do that without prescription medicine. I don't know how. You must be some kind of unicorn.
It's the last thing I had tried. Like it's because I was getting big again. I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't move. And I had done Atkins. I had done the Mediterranean diet. I had done no carb, low carb. I've done it all. Jenny Craig. Anybody remember old enough to remember?
Oh yeah, that's the food gets delivered. Yeah.
Yep. Weight Watchers with your point system.
Oh yeah, I
done
did
'em
Weight
all.
Watchers. So with
Atkins
after all of the pregnancies,
Yes.
I went to Weight Watchers meetings.
Weight Watchers is
quite
just
the
calories.
humiliation ritual.
Oh my
all
God,
it
they
is.
weigh you in front of everybody.
The way you in front of everyone. Yeah.
I was 12 years old at my first Weight Watchers meeting, and they got me up weighing me in front of all these 40-year-old women, and the audible gasp that I never went back. I was like, bro,
Yeah, why would you?
terrible.
Shaming.
So I've been
But it's-
tracking. So I'm down 30 pounds. Like I feel fucking phenomenal. This conversation needs to be had more than just pushing these SSRIs, or even when it comes to mental health. It's like, you know what? Instead of giving you a pill, here's what I want you to do for the next 30 days. I want you to get that fancy Garmin you bought because it looks nice. And I want you to actually just walk 30 minutes every day outside and then come back and see me. And if you still feel like shit, then we can talk about medicine. But if you feel better, then we're going to continue to walk outside because
Yeah, see, the
that,
problem with that is
crazy.
that does not cost anything.
Yeah,
I
Great.
know.
There's no
you know,
profit.
even Weight Watchers is using such a basic concept of like just burn more calories than you take in. Like that's it. And they're marketing it, and more power to them. At least they're not pushing like, dangerous prescription drugs. But I think it's just, a product of a microwave society we have. We expect things to happen overnight. That applies to our whole movement, by the way. There's this notion that like if it's difficult, like, then you shouldn't do it. You just look for the magic pill. And that's what Big Pharma has marketed on, is basically we'll fix you with this pill. You don't have to do any hard work. You don't have to walk. You don't have to go to the gym. My God, you can eat whatever you want, but here, take this and you'll be fine. And it's criminal. It's horrible. I'm shocked that people fall for it. I remember during COVID, you guys probably remember when it came out that like if you were overweight, it was a big risk factor. You were likely to end up in the hospital or whatnot. And so it seemed like simple, just like get your weight under control, like do some exercise. But no, they banned the gyms, they banned the hiking trails, they banned the beaches, everything. So
Kept them bars open though, didn't they?
Sure did.
Liquor
Sure did.
stores and the weed shops, and the
Liquor stores,
donut
weed shops, all that, all the bad stuff. Sure, let's keep that open.
Well, the donuts were for the cops. So
I was on a
essential.
site where there was a discussion. This was going on in real time during COVID, and somebody had posed the question or said basically that what I just said about just maybe lose some weight and you'll decrease like a huge risk factor, the one big giant risk factor. And there was an MD in this quorum in responded and said, absolutely not. That's a terrible idea. And so I proposed, well, why is that a terrible idea? Like, it seems very obvious to me. They're like, well, it's very difficult and people might get frustrated by it and this and that. And I'm, take the vax. It was just take the vax. I'm like, oh my Lord, I cannot believe you're a doctor. And I got banned from that site because I said, we've spoken like somebody with a BMI of over 50% probably. So, banned, and I'm still banned. And, but it was
now
like,
it's
wow.
now it's take Ozempic or trizepatide.
Right.
That's all it is now. They want you on Ozempic and trizepatide. Every other ad I see on TikTok is for trizepatide or Ozempic or some variation black market one.
Breaking news, J
Lord.
Triot.
Yeah.
Because Carol, he in the chat said this. She said, Weight Watchers is pushing the shots now. And I thought, no, that can't be true.
I'm sure they are. Yeah.
They've got the pills and the shots at Weight Watchers, which was always
it's okay. It's FDA approved.
No, always their brand positioning was no fads, no quick fixes. You need to understand your brain's relationship with food, and you need to understand how calories work and how the science behind this works. That was always their thing. Now they're pushing pills and shots.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a doctor.
Thank you, Carol, for letting us know.
Yeah, thank you, Carol. I was giving them too much credit.
You were we were being too nice to Weight Watchers.
I was being too nice to Weight Watchers for doing it the old-fashioned way with a lifestyle change. Imagine that. Now they've abandoned that too. So
yeah. And I think, there are some people have had great experiences with the shots. Some people have ended up blind
so far.
Right.
Some people have had their stomachs paralyzed. Some people had to get off it because it was too expensive, and they gained all the weight back because they didn't fix the underlying issue.
Well, that's the same thing with like the stomach stapling stuff. I know two people that have done that. And the thing that was crazy to me about that was, and they're both very big guys, They both had to go on diets for like 2 months before they did the surgery so that they would train their bodies to eat less food. And it was like,
there you go.
then
You're
just
Why
already
not
there.
just like
going.
stick with that for another
Just go with that.
4
Let's
months?
start-
I know.
Let's
And
get
it's
in there.
like they lost a bunch of weight in that 2 months because they weren't eating like pigs. And it was like, hey, there you
Amazing.
go. No, man, I really need that. And then the one guy, he's had nothing but problems. In fact, he about died because he had the one where it actually clamps, or I think it was the one where they actually cut out part of your stomach.
Mm.
And then where they stitch it back together, he developed, because he didn't change how he ate. All he eats is candy and like Chex Mix and just junk. And I was like, dude, like you have to eat real food. He's always puking. He was just stupid. But he came into work and he was like pale looking, wasn't feeling very well, and then goes up to the bathroom and just starts vomiting blood because where the sutures were, this was even like 2 years after he had the surgery. It had developed an ulcer that would expose the blood vein or something, and it basically, because he was eating crap, it burst in his stomach, and he was bleeding out into his stomach. He goes to the hospital. He's like shitting blood, and he about died.
no.
He was off work for like
my
2 months.
gosh.
I was like,
We
dude,
had-
that's insane.
I had
Yeah.
a guy that I worked with. His name was Brandon, and he had gotten a very similar surgery where they like staple your stomach. He was a real big guy. He lost a ton of weight, right? He
Mhm.
lost like over 200 pounds, a huge amount of weight. But what he did was he transferred his food addiction, okay, to alcohol. And so,
Oh, that's good.
well, no, he actually died. He died
Oh.
from liver
awful.
disease
Mhm.
because of the alcohol. He was drinking so much alcohol because he couldn't eat the way that he wanted to anymore that he ended up ruining his liver and he ended up dying. And so that's what I'm saying. Like losing the weight is great, but when you do these quick fixes, when you do these Wegovies and you do, or the stomach
Yeah.
stapling or any of it, if you don't fix the underlying issue, if you don't fix the reason you binge, if you don't fix the addiction that you have to food, and you don't understand what's going on with your addiction to food, then you're gonna probably pass that addiction on to something else, or you're just gonna gain it all back, or you're gonna end up in the hospital pooping blood, which
Yep.
sounds awful.
For me,
It really does.
For me, the underlying thing is gluttony. We have such
Oh,
a
yeah.
gluttonous society that
And
it
we
doesn't matter what
celebrate
is.
it.
Yeah, everything is
We give 'em
celebrating
all-
Body
gluttony.
positivity.
We
Mhm.
give them all brand deals, right?
Yeah.
Crumble Cookie is terrible about this. Every single week, that motherfucking company comes out and they hire like 500 morbidly obese influencers, give them free cookies and a check to make videos of them eating their cookies. And they're disgusting. Have you ever had a crumble cookie? They're gross. They're dry. They're
I don't
terrible.
think I have.
Oh,
I've
they're
heard
not.
about
Loves
them. People
crumble.
talk about them like they're
I feel
You
like
know,
I need to
something
lose some weight and
physiological, but-
get an influencer gig. Get some of these cookies. There's that.
That's all
what I'm
just
saying,
become
like,
mukbangers.
Christy loves them, so send them to me. I'm skinny-ish, kind of. I'll eat them.
I'll poison myself.
I'll do it. I don't care.
But you're
Brian's got
right.
an
They
iron
just
stomach.
they celebrate it. They're like positivity.
Yeah.
And now that pendulum is kind of starting to swing back to the gym
Let's
bros, right?
go.
You've got people that they're clinging to it though. Like they're just clinging to it, and then they're trying to stay with the whole like fat phobic thing, and it's like, girl, we're all done. We're back to smoking Marlboro Lights and Victoria's Secret models, like, and
Let's
not the big
go.
ones. Okay.
Yeah.
But-
Not the rebrand.
Yeah, not
pendulum
no
is
back,
swinging back.
the 90s ones, okay, that
Yeah.
we were all out here like drinking soda and ice cubes with sugar-free sugar on them, pretending like it's ice cream. We're all back to
Remember
Portland.
that movie with Jesse Spano from Saved by the Bell, Showgirls, where they could only
yeah.
eat brown rice and steamed
Brian?
vegetables to be
Oh,
Vegas
I do.
showgirls?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're
I
back
remember
to.
I'm
Elizabeth
so
Berkley's
excited.
boobies.
Oh, you're
Brian,
Jesse
tell him.
Spano's boobies.
Jesse Spano.
Well,
I
it's
love
a-
that show.
It was
Saved
Saved by the
solid
Bell or
movie. We should
Showgirls?
do that
Oh, I
on
thought we were
No,
talking
well,
about
well,
Showgirls
I
too.
like Showgirls too, but I love Saved by the Bell. I had the biggest crush on the
I'm more of a
Badlands.
Showgirls fan than a
I'm
Saved
sure.
by the Bell. Just saying.
Were you two
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell though?
No, I had it on. I mean, I used to watch Saved by the Bell, but I grew up, so you
It
know.
was still on TV when you were a child.
Yeah, it was on for a long time.
Okay.
How old are you?
The college
I'm
years.
36.
The college years.
I was born in '90.
Okay, so I was
Did they
born
do
in
a
80
Saved by the Bell college years? I don't think I
Yeah,
saw
they
that.
did the
they
college
did.
years.
But
Yeah.
I saw the regular one
I
too.
need to
near the
find
end.
this.
Yeah,
We
they
used to
brought
come
in
home
the
after school and
coach.
watch it.
They brought in the coach that was like a middle-aged guy that hung out with all the college kids.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
'Cause that's-
looking
it was
back
very-
at it now.
it was very
Wasn't that the
weird.
principal in the original series?
Yes, it was.
Mr. Belding.
Mr. Belding.
Mr.
Mr.
Belding. Yeah.
Belding.
Hey man, they were trying to make it a social commentary on what was happening in real life because that's what happens. is you
Yeah.
get these old
Yeah.
teenagers
Kind of
coming
feel
back
like
to hang
that's
out with
a
college
direct
kids.
shot.
Did
at
you
me
identify with
hanging out you
Lisa,
guys.
Cam?
No, I'm not. a
Hey,
woman.
did you guys see
She's
Inez
out there.
Cantor declared for the WNBA draft?
No, but that's amazing. I love it.
And
I
they're
love
they're
it.
gonna they're gonna have to let him in.
I love it. Oh
Dude,
man.
Well,
check-
yeah,
what
because
a-
they've let Brittany Griner in. So
Dude, do you guys
Very
know anything
brave.
about?
Wait, is this the?
Is
Is
he
this
gonna be on the-
where
Is he
that
gonna be
blonde
on
girl's in all kinds of hot water because she
With
did
the
a press conference?
pointing.
Yeah, we
Sophie
love her.
Cunningham.
Yeah.
Here's
Love
Is he
check,
her.
gonna be on the Nashville
Hot, too.
Balls?
check this out.
I don't know.
and then Brian, you need to show the highlights.
This is awesome.
That's a man.
After careful consideration and reviewing the current eligibility guidelines, I am officially declaring myself a WNBA prospect. If simply declaring who you are is all that's required, then I meet every single requirement necessary to compete in the WNBA.
And then some.
My team and I have carefully examined the WNBA's eligibility criteria and governing framework surrounding self-identification and inclusion. Based on the current guidelines, I can and am officially declaring my eligibility for the upcoming WNBA draft in May 2027. I am definitely not here to mock, make fun of, or disrespect any community or personal
He's
choices.
smirking,
I am
though.
simply asking that the current rules be applied equally to everyone. The rules that represent the very values many WNBA players and coaches have publicly advocated for. My team and I are prepared to ensure these guidelines are applied equally, consistently, and without exception. And I look forward to the WNBA honoring its stated principles. See you at training camp.
Nice.
Let's
First pick in the
Bro,
draft.
So,
Bro,
number one
he's
pick.
he's 6'10", 250 pounds.
dude, so Enos
He'll
Cantor.
score 100 a night.
Enos Cantor's
He will score. He will Wilt Chamberlain that every single night.
Every
yes.
single night he'll
You
Every
need to
night
show
he's on the court.
lowlights.
He will put up 100 points. The other team might not score a single point.
No, he just camp him out. Under
So what would
basket.
happen if he sat on the bench though?
He
Dude,
just-
you need to pull up the lowlights video.
He's just not good enough.
Or was it Angel Reese goes off? Is that what it was that you posted?
I don't know. Royce White also declared he's a former player. He would be another powerhouse that you would never be able to touch him in the WNBA.
He's either
So,
running.
Who's the guy,
you know
who's
what?
the guy that, who's the guy that wants to start a franchise?
Clay
That-
Travis.
Clay Travis, right.
Clay
Balls,
Travis came
right?
out and
That's
said
Balls, Nashville Balls.
he said, I will buy a franchise. We will run nothing but trans men. We will win the title. We will be undefeated, and you might not score a single point against our team. I the only stipulation I would have put in there is a single
Free
point
throws.
that's not a free throw, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there will be fouls.
Yeah,
But
that point.
that being said, he also put up $10 million saying that he will take the league champions, the Las Vegas Aces, and put them up against a
High
state
school.
championship high school team of his choice. So
Boys.
50 states, 50 teams to choose from. And he said the same thing. He doesn't think the other team, the WNBA team, would score a single point. And that reminds me, and Cam, I'm sure you remember this, when the women's national team played the Dallas 15U team and lost, what was it, 7-0?
Yeah, it was like
7,
8-2
nothing.
or something like that. Wasn't it?
I have friends
No,
that
I think it was 7-0. I don't
7-0.
think
They didn't
scored
score a
on-
goal.
The women's national soccer team
15
did not score a single goal against a 15 and under boys team.
Dang.
Yeah.
Womp
Like
womp.
people don't understand the difference between men and women when it comes
Yes,
to the
everybody
sport.
understands it.
Well,
no,
women,
Everybody,
no.
every,
normal
no,
women
no.
understand.
everybody
sane,
understands.
every
No,
sane
people-
human does.
People think they understand. They're like, oh yeah, the men will dominate. No, it's not even dominate. It's not even dominate. Like there's
I don't
no
think anybody
point.
thinks it would be competitive.
Okay. Well,
Nobody,
no,
nobody
no.
anywhere.
There's a difference
Except the
between
people pushing for it to happen. And here's the thing: if you want people to actually watch the WNBA, this is the way to do it. Because I am a woman, support them.
You are?
You know, solidarity, all the things. I'm not
allegedly.
I'm not watching the WNBA. Now, in fairness, I'm not watching the NBA either. I
Oh,
think they're a bunch of prima
Good
donnas.
move.
They're paid way too much.
Oh, yeah.
They're drama queens. They have been since the 90s and probably before. But like, I have no love. And I played basketball in high school, but I have no love lost for them. But I'm certainly not watching the WNBA. But you get that guy. That what nationality is he? Sounds Russian.
He's he's Turkish. So
Turkish,
Eunice Cantor has like a crazy story when Turkey was going through their like revolution
Yeah.
and stuff.
So he's dressed up as a woman playing women's basketball. I'm watching that game. So you want to fix the ratings problem? You want to fix the advertising sponsorship problem? You want to fix the equity in the way that these professional athletes are paid? Throw some men in there.
But I feel like that's
was it last year or a couple years ago? They were throwing dildos on the courts.
I was
and now
gonna
they're
say
actually
they've
just bringing
already
out the
kind
real
of
thing.
made a joke of the whole WNBA thing. Like, and that's the biggest argument when it comes to the WNBA versus the NBA is that the WNBA has to do all these fucking crazy tactics to get people to show up until they got Caitlin Clark. And then all of a sudden people got really invested in the WNBA. Well, then there was a lot of like drama with Caitlin Clark and refs and drama with Caitlin Clark and that other chick with the weird eyes, you know, and then more people started. I mean, I get it. I do. But it just becomes a commodity then, kind of like the NBA with, I can't think of his name. What's his name?
LeBron.
He hasn't retired. He should retire. No.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. LeBron James has become like a commodity. Like, you don't even watch LeBron James because you like basketball. You watch LeBron James because he's there and he complains a lot and he cries a lot. And you're just... The whole thing, I can't believe we're here in 2026 and we're still having to discuss trans women in women's sports.
No, it's amazing. I mean, honestly, if you look at like the perfect example of like, or the perfect barometer for men versus women in sports, just take track and field, right? Because that's just pure athleticism. And like, if you look at the men's records versus the women's records, it's not even close, not even the same ballpark. So anybody that's trying to argue that women are the same athletes as men, it's just, they're not. It's just apples and oranges. And then it just, you don't even need to see like a trans guy in the WNBA dominating, scoring 100 a night. You know, it's just,
It would be fun to see that, Jay Trey.
but I do want to see it.
You know where
I
they
wanna see
aren't
it.
advocating for women and men for men and women's sports? Hockey.
Oh God,
They
that
will
would be
die.
Great.
What about football?
They die.
Yeah,
no,
football.
so
They said
football.
kickers at some points, didn't they?
Do you guys remember? Yeah, I think it was like
Not
2020
in the NCAA, but not in the NFL, right?
in 2020 they had the first female Division I kicker come out for Vanderbilt, and she kicked off for Vanderbilt, and it was like a big deal because she was the first female ever to play Division I football, because Vanderbilt's kicker got hurt and they couldn't find a kicker anywhere, which is the biggest crock of shit you could ever imagine, because you could go to any soccer team and pick a dude off the soccer team and you got a kicker. Right. And she got out there and she did the kickoff and it went like 25 yards.
I was going to say, did she make it past
It was
the 50?
Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find a video.
Yeah.
Of it.
Was that the only time she kicked, or did they trot her out for more?
No, that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand. I don't understand why we're still here having this debate here. I don't. I think
there's no debate. I think it's just morbid curiosity.
Here it is.
Well,
Here
to help us pass the SAVE Act, apparently, is why we're talking about women's sports.
In college football, Vanderbilt Commodores coming back onto the field. They will kick off to start the second. And there she is, wearing number 32, her soccer jersey number, and just 6 days ago was winning an SEC soccer.
Awesome woman. You can hit
Is
a crap.
she wearing a cup?
Happening right now. This is
She's so brave.
cool moment.
Can see her camel toe.
Womp womp.
To the 38 to the 38-yard line.
Wait, did he go out of bounds?
Right now, this
That's
is
a penalty.
pretty
I want to
cool
see if there's
moment.
a penalty.
She had one job.
Oh,
No, it didn't.
To the
Oh, it
35.
killed that guy. That's how hard she kicked it.
Yeah.
It killed him.
Yeah, it hit him in the chest and he just dropped. Dude.
it
That was
went right
it.
through his pads and everything.
All right. So some folks in the chat were saying that earlier on we were being too serious. We needed to lighten up. So I have a palate cleanser, and then we're going to talk about our sponsors.
Oh, is
Wait,
this
wait. A
Vegas here?
woman kicker for
be done. But look at this. Incredible growth. Incredible.
My God.
Everyone's talking about it. The best hair, maybe ever. Make hair great again.
There's a whole series of these. They're awesome.
Can Soft Disclosure come up with a product like that? Because I will absolutely endorse it.
We'll work on it.
That hair.
That's Ash
We'll add
playing
it.
drums.
Yeah, well, that's
hitting a
what,
bunch
that.
of
The only
birds.
reason I saw that is because somebody tagged me and said, "Hey, he's taking your look as the drummer." So that
He's
is
the
my question.
drummer.
Like, do you guys think that he's trying to take my job as
boop.
drummer
Badlands boop.
It's the
Boop.
boop
of the band?
for
Of
sure.
course, he's not actually doing.
You
the
can't call
booping.
everything a boop, Drake.
I don't. Did he post
Also,
that?
question for you, Jonathan Drake, because someone in the chat, Clarkston, actually said, "What would Spooner say about men in women's sports?" And before you answer, and I think everybody, based on not John Drake, you just hang on for a second. Everybody should say what they think Spooner would say about men in women's sports. I think personally, he would say it is a matter for street justice. Brian, what do you think?
I don't think Spooner would give two shits about sports.
That's probably a fair point. Ship?
I don't know who Spooner is. Who are we
Okay,
talking
it's
about?
fair. It's fair. Nobody does. Kim?
All these inside jokes, man. I come in here and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. I thought we talked about that.
All right, Jonathan Drake, it's okay. You'll be able to explain who Spooner is in just a
don't
second.
worry.
Kim,
Let me-
what do you
let me-
think?
That'll take the rest of the show.
Yeah, let me go, Jonathan. Relax, Jonathan. Let me go.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
yeah,
good.
yeah. Calm down. All right. I think Spooner would say that sports are just a glorified dick measuring contest between grown men.
But we're talking about men in women's sports. So even if he doesn't appreciate the forum, like, I mean,
Well,
I
so
think
women
I disagree with all of that.
Yeah, exactly. The whole point.
I think Spooner, contrary to popular belief, I think he had an incredible sense of humor, and I think he would have wanted it. He would have been for it just for the entertainment value.
I would track with that. The only thing where Spooner would come in and say is the government stepping in and trying to regulate it is out of the question.
Yeah.
That's
So if there's a league that wants to put them together, go for it.
Yeah, I feel like
It's
most
your
of
natural right.
Spooner's answers would be street justice.
Yeah.
All
You just
right.
can't
Well,
violate justice in the process of street justice.
how do you accomplish that? How do you say, well, the government can't have any
I
role?
thought we weren't supposed to be
in-
this serious.
Okay,
This
that's
isn't
fair.
serious.
That's fair.
This is a good
All
question.
right. We're going to do another palate cleanser, mainly because I have not yet seen Jay Triet's reaction to this.
Hold on, babe.
Soft Disclosure deodorant is made with purity-tested ingredients like organic arrowroot powder, magnesium hydroxide, and nourishing plant oils. This deodorant keeps you fresh without covering up the truth. Activated charcoal works like a magnet to help draw out impurities, while green matcha tea brings antioxidant power to protect and calm skin. Aluminum-free, stain-free, and formulated to last up to 2 months of daily use.
Whole bus fresh, no steak on me. Soft Disclosure got me clean. Fresh so loud, can't compete. Mint, lemon, grapefruit, lavender tea.
It helps fight odor without blocking the body's natural sweat. And every purchase helps support 6 American small businesses. Buy 2 deodorants, get a free lip balm. Or visit softdisclosure.com and use promo code FRESH for 15% off.
What are you doing?
Soft Disclosure got me clean. Fresh so loud, can't compete.
Okay, Jay Triet, one, what do you think about it? But more importantly, what does Margie think of it?
Margie absolutely loved it. Margie thought it was hilarious. Yeah, I submitted that picture of myself from grad school. I can't believe they made me look so young. That's amazing. But yeah, no, Madam Margie also did question. She's like, "You're not really thinking about growing a beard, are you?" Just to fit
Yeah.
in?" And I
That
was
made
like,
her.
Don't worry, Mom. Don't worry. That was just for selling, products there.
Oh, I don't have my Margie as
Secretly
the
looking
Grim
up beard oil.
Reaper-
Although I
Grim
swear to
Reaper
God,
meme here in
I
this
do use the beard
shoot.
oil on my face. I just use it on my face, and it's fantastic. It's like the best moisturizer I've ever used in my life. It's not
Hoping to
greasy.
grow a beard.
Feels greasy when it goes on, but then it just soaks in, and I swear my skin has never looked so good. So
Well, he was growing a beard for a hot second, Brian, and Margie was not having it.
You're not
Margie the
having it.
And then after Jay Triet shaved, then Josh Reed shaved, and then Ghost shaved.
Yeah, she
She
got
has
her
great powers.
her 3 scalps basically. Yeah,
She did.
that meme was great. She loved that too, by the way.
We love
Some of
Marge.
our audience memed her. with
Everybody get some soft
Rusty Grim
disclosure.
Reaper.
The 2 so it is, I believe now. I hope I'm not misspeaking. Cheryl, tell me if I'm misspeaking, but I think I have this right. Now 2 deodorants or 2 tallows, mix and match. And you'll get a free lip balm, or you can still use promo code
Stuff's
FRESH
amazing.
to get 15% off. The lip balm is amazing. The beard oil is amazing. The lotion is the only lotion that I use now because it services all of my lotion needs. Tallow Bar has solved, like, Fat Chance and Whiskey Girl sent in pictures of their baby, their grandbaby, who had a really bad eczema, like back here on under where the little adorable fat roll is on the baby neck. They had like a scabbing eczema, and they used the Tallow Bar, and then they sent before and after pictures. That was in our soft disclosure insider updates, which you should be signed up for because there's exclusive discounts over there that you won't find here. They're over there. And so you need to be signed up. Softdisclosure.com. Get yourself some incredible products. Use promo code FRESH, or buy 2 of either deodorants and tallow bars and get a free lip balm. Softdisclosure.com.
And hat tip to Green Star for the incredible commercials. Like they've been amazing. Every single one of them has been hilarious and just so imaginative. Great stuff, man.
Absolutely. And we are also talking about creatine tonight. Creatine has been a staple in sports nutrition and athletic fitness for decades, for good reason. It helps our cells create ATP, their primary source of energy. But creatine isn't just for workouts. Recent research has found creatine supplementation is good for the mind too, helping with focus and mood by increasing energy in our brain cells. Conscious Strength creatine monohydrate is micronized for easy absorption, unflavored, with no fillers, and made in the USA. Combined with their electrolytes and cordyceps for a natural workout stack, or lion's mane and methylene blue for the ultimate brain boost. Find the Conscious Strength products at badlandsmedia.tv/strength and make sure you use promo code Badlands for 10% off your order. That's badlandsmedia.tv/strength, promo code Badlands, and you can learn more about Conscious Strength on the America First Stories episode number 5. And if you don't know where to find that, you head to rumble.com/badlandsmedia, hit the playlist, go to the America First Stories playlist, and it's episode number 5. You will learn all about Jordan.
Yes, amazing stuff too. Amazing.
Yeah, I swear by his oregano oil. It is like
great stuff.
Just if you like take it prophylactically, but also if you feel even like a tickle in the throat or a sniffle or whatever, 4 drops. Right as rain. Not medical advice.
Not
just
medical
friendly
advice.
Neither is medical advice.
Yeah. My human advice is to take oregano oil. If you start to feel congested or have like mucus buildup, it's really good at getting rid of it. Jordan actually is the one that pointed that out. He also said that he puts it on his joints too, sometimes. Just a few drops and rubs
Yeah,
it
it's
in.
anti-inflammatory, isn't it? Or is it antibacterial or something?
So we will talk more about our other sponsors later in the show. Jonathan Drake, can you please tell people who Spooner is? Because an alarming amount of the chat doesn't know. I mean, it's not really alarming.
If you want the long version, tune in to the No Treason podcast
we don't.
on
We want
Sunday nights. So that's where you can get
very
the long
short
version. The short version is Lysander Spooner was a lawyer in the 1800s from the Boston area who analyzed the founding values of this country and compared them against the actual founding documents and found the documents wanting. And he is hyper logical and excruciatingly detailed in his takedown of the Constitution and American form of government, upholding natural law as the universal law and the universal standard by which we can judge all things. And under that standard, then everything we basically take for granted is a usurpation of natural law.
Right.
And
if you're wondering why Drake is the way he is, Spooner is
yes,
a big,
exactly.
fan.
Bay Theater Dave had said regarding men in women's sports, Lysander Spooner would have asked for a trial by jury, and I would correct him to say he would have asked for a trial by hung jury. Thank you. Thank you. I'm here all
we
week.
need Zach for the.
I know.
The rim shot.
You're not used to me being funny, and I'm not still, but yeah.
That was funny.
I'm sure funny.
Thank you.
Good,
Thank
man.
you.
That was
I'm
good.
here all week.
Okay. Well, we did a woman murdering her children briefly. We did mental health more robustly. What do you got? I have a bunch of stuff, but I don't want to make this show too political, and most of my stuff is political. So what do you guys want to talk about?
Let's talk about fiber.
Want to go?
Fiber?
Are you guys getting enough fiber? Yeah, because
Sure.
what is it? Alpha? Is it Alpha, right?
Yeah.
He's got this good brew, and they sent me some stuff this week, and it's got.
Oh, it's
nice.
fantastic. You'll enjoy it.
Good.
I do enjoy it.
Is Good Brew alphas?
I guess. Like I brought it up on a show, and they must have heard it, or somebody must have reached out because
They had like the founder guy on.
Yeah, they're a
DEF
Badlands
CON.
sponsor.
Right.
And
They had the echo problem.
Yeah, I was a little nervous because
Oh.
they didn't tell me. They just somebody dropped. Well, UPS just dropped it off. Things are getting a little weird here with the shipping of stuff. I've been getting some random shit from people.
Welcome.
Yeah,
You missed the Chef IQ days.
I don't know what that is, but don't come to my
Oh,
house.
I do.
You would like this one.
I've got a
Good stuff.
convection oven. I've got an
The
ice
ice maker. The ice
I've
maker is
got-
still Ice Daddy. Still my
got a
favorite.
wine
Yeah.
opener. I've got.
I'm so confused right now.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
These
they
are all
sent-
sponsors that are not sponsoring the show tonight, so we should move on from
ChefIQ.com.
Oh no! I had somebody send me $40 in cash and a card using my full government name. Thank you for all
Oh,
you do.
that's
We
scary.
appreciate it.
Was that? Did you
That's
take
a
that
little
as like
scary.
an honest, like I would love to give you some money, or was it more of a like, I know
Uh,
who you are?
I worked it out with Jessica a little bit because at first it felt like I want you to know that I know where you live and I
Yeah.
know your full name, But then after
Then
talking
$40
with her a little bit,
bucks,
yeah, she's like, "Well, the $40 is weird." She's like, "Maybe it's just an old person who somehow figured out where you live and sent you some
Wait,
money."
it was cash, right?
It's cash,
They
$220.
say not to send cash in the mail.
No, you're
But
not
the
supposed
old
to
people
send
do
cash in the
that.
mail. But
My
old
mom
people
does
do that. That was another thing. And then the writing was super like calligraphy, super.
Oh well,
feminine.
definitely then an old person.
Yeah, so it felt
I'm gonna go with they're not gonna kill you, but
probably not. But we bought
I don't
another
It's a nice
camera
handwriting,
just in
though.
case.
That's a sign of a serial killer.
We did. We
$40
bought.
bucks. Use
we
the
bought
$40
our,
bucks to
we
buy-
bought our own flat cameras all around our house. So show up.
So Christy and I keep getting this mail from a poll company, like a polling company, and they keep sending us $5 with every
Yeah.
poll.
I thought it
They
was-
send
I
us
thought
a
you were talking about
$5
Polish
bill.
guy.
Keep not
Is it real
responding.
one?
see
I
how much
always
you can
open
make.
them. Give me that $5.
Dude, I'm like, I've got the $5. I'm saving them. They're
I don't
like,
hate me to fill out a poll. I would do it for free.
Oh, yeah.
I
Are they
wouldn't
crisp?
do it for free.
Are they
I get a
crisp
couple
$5
every
bills?
year. I don't
Well,
ever
for-
fill out the surveys. I just keep.
I used to get the GOP ones, and I think I told them "fuck off, you're illegitimate" so many times, and just
Oh.
Sharpie on the form. that
Totally.
they stopped
Send it
sending.
back.
Yeah, no, I did that
Postage
about
guaranteed. I love that.
That's how you lose your
Just draw a big
$5.
penis on it and just.
I did the same thing.
If I ever get one again, I will do that.
Do it.
Did you
A
guys
big
see
wiener.
that coward, the term coward was trending on X? Did you guys see that?
Oh,
No.
It's
Is
because
that-
Bill Cassidy cried. Did you guys see that?
No.
no.
No. What'd he
That
cry
sounds like
about?
her.
Who's Bill Cassidy?
What a
Oh,
bitch.
for fuck's sake.
And the
All
Sundance
considered,
Kid.
I will vote for Mr.
Penis.
Blanche. I'll be criticized for this vote. What's new?
They're all being very dramatic about confirming Blanche.
They're always very dramatic
They're
about
so I know
everything.
that's all they do. Here it is. Here it is.
People of Louisiana,
I'd cry too if someone put me in that
can be
fucking
assured
tie.
that I worked hard to understand
Fucking
the issue,
losers.
It looks like a couch from the
make the right
90s.
decision.
Yes.
He
With
does.
that, I yield.
My dad had one of those couches in his psychiatry office.
Vagina.
Vagina.
Excellent use of vagina. Why is he so upset?
Because
Is
he
it
got
about
voted
Israel?
out of office. He's no
He's out.
longer a fucking senator. Or
Oh,
won't
he
be.
got
And-
quote unquote primary.
Oh, he lost.
Now, is
his
he
primary.
doing one of
Makes it
his
even
like?
more interesting because he was so upset about voting hesitantly, reluctantly making this vote, and he's a sitting duck. He's not
lame
coming
duck?
back.
Yeah, he's a lame duck.
Lame duck. Lame duck.
Sitting duck.
Sitting
Close,
duck is a different
same
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He might be
fair.
a sitting duck. I don't know. Maybe
I
they're
hope for
going
his
after
sake.
him.
I hope for
Maybe
his
that's
sake
why
not a
he's
sitting duck.
crying, Brian.
Yep.
Because Blanche, he has to make this vote. He certainly doesn't look like he wants to make
He
this
only
vote.
has
Looks
so
like
many
his
of them
arms being
left.
twisted behind his back, and not in the funny like twist my arm part. In the part like with I don't know if you guys had brothers that if you were the older brother,
Pull my finger.
Brian.
uncle.
But you put that arm behind the back and like twist it up. That shit hurts
Say uncle.
like a motherfucker. And it seems like that's the position he's in. What do you guys think?
I think he's probably just got.
Well,
his legs
understand
all
what we know
rubbing
about Congress.
together.
I'm sure he's in a lot of other positions.
Sorry.
So cynical. Everybody here. Just so
Fuck
Cam,
that
what do
guy.
you think? You're never cynical. What do you think?
They're out here telling us to eat
Hold on,
fucking
I can't be
ramen.
cynical.
Fuck all of
Let
them.
me see. What's a non-cynical response?
I saw that. I saw something about that ramen thing. Who was that?
Dan
Who said that?
Crenshaw.
Dan Crenshaw and some little
Eye
biatch
patch
from Fox
McCain.
News.
Fringe Shaw.
Yeah.
What did
He's
they
not-
say
he's not
about
gonna be a
ramen?
senator. He's like, maybe you should just go get a job and stretch your budget and eat ramen like I did when I was in college. Like, didn't you grow up as an oil tycoon's son? You piece of shit.
You
Like-
He's a
wrong.
fag.
Oh my god.
He's such a fucking bitch.
They all are.
He is the biggest disappointment. I mean, they're all disappointments, but he's the biggest
You
disappointment.
think he's the biggest? Eye patch
Yeah.
McCain. He's
Yeah.
the biggest.
Close. He's up
disappointment
there.
of all of the disappointing legislators in the federal legislature. You think Dan Crenshaw is the most disappointing? Is it the military thing? Is that why?
No. He did like this totally base thing after the 2020 election. Like he did like this Navy SEAL like podcast, like not podcast, but like a campaign video where he's like, "Yes, Mr. President, we've got you," and does like this Navy SEAL thing, like I'm here to save the day and investigate the 2020 election fraud. And like he jumps out of a plane and he's all like, "Red team, go! We're badasses!" And then he lands and he's like, all like, "We're here to save the day," and he turns out to be a complete fucking fag.
I was gonna say, was
think
that
that
before or
commercial was
after
the
he was
sign, though.
crying because they didn't get a raise in like X amount of years? That was
He-
Dan Crenshaw.
But do
He
you guys
just-
really think these people are as big a piece of shit as just low life human beings, or do you
No.
think they were compromised and somebody
No.
like held it over his head and said, "We're gonna expose this about you or your family and all"? You know how the blackmail goes.
There can't be anything worse than what's already out there. Do you know what I mean? Like it's all out there.
Well,
There's
that's the double-edged sword, right? It's like
Yeah.
you're gonna like compromise your values in order to save your ass, but ultimately it's gonna make it so much worse for you. But I think they just go down. I think the threat is so great that they just go down that road and they just keep digging a deeper hole, and they're forced to say whatever the hell and do whatever the hell and vote for whatever the hell their handlers tell them to do.
I think there's a certain level to that, but then I have to start like humanizing that, and I'm way too like empathetic. You know what I mean? Because there was a minute there I was starting to feel bad for Dan Bongino because I was like, man, they
Oh
gotta
no,
have
don't
something
ever
on
feel
this
bad
guy.
for that guy.
No, I'm serious because, like, how do you with Dan Bongino was like the end for me. How do you spend years and years and years on Jeffrey Epstein and the list and the victims and dabbling in and out of this and Hillary Clinton, and you go on and on and on that we need investigations, we need accountability. You get in there and we're all pumped. Like, this is it. You built this up and you did nothing. And not only did you do nothing, but then you left and you came back and called us all names. Like, bro. But then, like, something, after thinking about it, something had to happen to make him, and it's got to be bad enough to where he would do this, because he's not stupid. It's so obvious that something's wrong, but he just doomers, you boomers, you doomers. And we're like, bro, this is so fucked up. You know this is. You know it is. Like, so there was a time where it was like, bro, I wonder what they've got. Is it like his family? Is it his kids? Because there's very little that I would do to save my kids or to spare my children, right?
Little that you wouldn't do.
Little that I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, depending on the day. Like, They drove me nuts. Like we need
I
more
feel that
sports.
the mama bear thing is real, and people don't. I think people think it's hyperbole, but it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Did you see Did you see the video that Seraphin put out, the montage of Glenn Beck and Bongino talking about the J6 pipe bomber? Because I used to listen to Bongino, like, so I had a routine. Like, I would get done with Badlands Daily. I've been doing Badlands Daily for 4 years now. I would get done with Daily, and this was before Daily Herald was on. So I would go, and as soon as I finished my show, I'd go and listen to Bongino because it came on at noon. And so I'd finish my show, I'd listen to him. And so I know a lot of, the history of him before the FBI. And this dude was full blown on, it was somebody in the FBI, somebody in the federal government that planted the pipe bombs on J6. And Seraphin put out like this video, like of a montage of him and Glenn Beck all like, yes, it was totally somebody in. And then him going after this autistic black kid in the middle of nowhere that makes zero fucking sense. 100%. Like, I'm pretty convinced Tyler Robinson did not shoot Charlie Kirk. I am 1000% convinced that Brian Cole did not plant those pipe bombs on January 5th. And Bongino just completely capitulated on that. And he's just like totally, yep, we got the guy. And it's like, dude, I don't care what you know. I don't care what you come on your show and you're like, you don't know what I know. I don't fucking care. I have a brain and I can look at what's been presented to us and tell you without a doubt it was not Brian Cole. But he's doubling down on this, and that's crazy to me.
Well, that's
man.
what I said. There's got to be something against him that keeps him But once you start thinking about that, again, like I'm super empathetic person. Like I am just to a fault, right? And then once I start thinking about it that way, I'm willing to let shit slide. Well, maybe we shouldn't be so mad at Dan Bongino for coming out here and influencing all these people. Maybe we should just let this. But unfortunately, the reason that we're in the position that we're in now is because we let shit slide for a really long time. And I think those days are done. And that's something that I struggle with too, because with Bongino, there's got to be something. I don't know how horrific it could possibly be. I don't know if he has kids, to be really honest, but if it were me, it'd be them kids. Like if you were threatening my kids, and I don't know. And we'll probably never know. It's just going to keep this constant cycle of bullshit going. And it's not just Bongino. I mean, we look at Kash Patel, like so pumped for Kash Patel. I was even kind of excited for Kristi Noem a little bit.
I was when she was governor. She was hot.
Well, yeah, because she was a decent governor. Then she gets in there, boobies ablazing, and she's taking all these like boobies ablazing. She's taking all these glamour shots. The one where she locked all those guys in like a cell, and they're all like shirtless. Okay, she's full glam. She's got a gun.
Can we find this?
Like, find it. And it's like, this feels like porn. It
is.
This feels very, like some
porn.
kind of dirty, like she goes in there at night as the guard and those shirtless, sweaty men, they take.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I ever saw this.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh,
I don't know if
Very
they're
pouty lips
Are they shirtless? I think a lot of them
They are shirtless. Yes. This is very special. Hold for processing.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, this bitch ain't doing nothing. Son of a bitch. These people, this whole thing's probably AI. Yes.
Oh, this is before she got her pouty lips, though. This has to be early on.
I think she just didn't reapply the plumper recently before the photo. So
There was another one that's like, can you scroll down?
let's see.
I thought there was one where she
ask
was like holding
AI.
a gun.
You should ask AI to remove the prison bars from that, and
Men in
it's like,
cages.
and it's
Maybe
really
it's that one.
raunchy video at that.
Which
On
one?
the left there.
Oh, look at this one.
All the
She's looking at
shirtless
their
guys.
butts.
It's like an OnlyFans.
Well, she's
picture.
looking at this guy's junk or whatever he's holding in
It
front of
feels
his
very much like Debbie does prison. That's how it feels.
Exactly. It's an
And-
OnlyFans video.
It
I
does
like
sort of
that.
seem like this is AI. Like,
It probably is.
really? Like,
Or
what are we
CGI
what are we
even.
looking at? They're all is like
They're
what?
close enough. She'd
That's
be covered in
the
like,
Bukele
phlegm.
thing
Was
was like
spitting
that.
on her, yeah.
That was the Bukele thing, was like all the images of that, the videos. They were videos of all the guys dressed exactly like that with the tattoos and
Look at
everything
her lips
else.
in
Yeah,
that
look
lower
at that.
left one.
Look at that video. All these guys are on like shelves and they're just like, "Grrr."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Come
very like it's like a
on.
softcore cinema.
Oh, she went. That was in El Salvador. Oh.
90s kind of.
No, it wasn't El
So-
Salvador. Was it El
That's what I said.
Salvador?
She visits
Yeah.
El Salvador's hellish
Oh.
prison.
Yeah.
But it was
This
so
is
like.
Bukele.
Okay,
This
all right.
is
So this isn't
Bukele's
this isn't supposed to be an American prison.
No,
Okay.
this is that's why I said this is what Bukele did.
Look
like,
how well behaved
Bukele-
they are. I don't see what that doesn't look hellish to me.
Oh, dude, did you
It's
see
very
what
clean, doesn't it?
Yeah.
John? Did you see what when Bukele like did this? Like, did you see all those videos?
No, I didn't watch him.
Oh, dude, he like suspended the Constitution and everything in El Salvador.
Yeah.
Nice.
To round
Some of
up
these
these
people have-
dudes. And you know, when I first saw it, I was like, I got issues with this. And then when I saw the results of it, when it went from the worst, like the highest murder rate in the Western Hemisphere to the lowest, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna let
I
it
do
slide
remember when
here.
that happened.
Yeah, that was like
Yes, I do.
2021. Yeah.
Well, considering
like,
the
I'm
fact
gonna
our
let this one
Constitution is already
slide.
suspended, I say Trump, go for it.
Yeah.
Are we even deporting people anymore though? Like I don't.
Yes.
We don't.
Yes.
Are we deporting people still?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah. we
There's
are.
these people that live across the street from me at like 2 in the morning. They're Mexican. They don't speak a lick of English. Their dog always gets out. I'm always super nice about it. But at 2 in the morning, they're always playing their music, and that's all I can hear is the thump, thump, thump. And I'm like, ICE text line. I'm like, listen, you want to just go check? Just go check. Because I know they're not, but I
Just check.
Just check.
they're
You
here
know
we're
what?
Still
doing.
deporting people because I have these neighbors. It's solid. I'm gonna read these three. Oh, where'd
Dude,
you go?
my computer just like froze up. I couldn't see any of the pictures that you guys were talking about or videos, so I had to reboot.
You missed
This is
boobies.
Christy Nolan.
Yeah, I missed all of it. I just had the spinning wheel. I felt like I was a
We had
kid again.
Christy Nome's boobies up.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Oh, it's getting
Big
us
tits,
slightly vi- I
McGee.
just realized this was still going in the background.
Yeah, see, I missed all this.
I'm gonna
Look at
read
her.
really
See,
quickly
she's
Keith
fucking
O'Higgins' first
weird.
3 rants because they did not carry. I just opened the rant thing and they didn't carry over, and I don't want to lose them. Keith O'Higgins says, "At least Cantor played real basketball and knows how to go to the rack. WNBA refs may call him for palming the ball more."
Yeah.
Okay.
Bum,
G
bum.
Fuentes 119. My Tampa Bay Lightning's top minor league AHL team's backup goalie was a female. Maybe 12 or 15 years ago, both starters she backed up. Later, she started Stanley Cup's final game for Tampa. I did not know that.
I don't
stand
believe that at
corrected.
all.
What? I don't.
Can you
believe
look it
that.
up and fact check it, Cam?
That can't be real.
Is that
Um,
garbage time?
I got you. I got
Tampa
you.
Bay. Oh, it's
Thank
the
you, Ben.
it's the minor league.
Oh,
situation.
minor
Yeah.
league.
Well, it
But
was the
it's
Stanley
still-
Cup part.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Stanley Cup show. She started Stanley Cup final game for Tampa.
Yes,
Tampa
the
Bay.
Tampa Bay Lightning had Manon Remui, a female goaltender, play for the team in 1992.
I stand corrected.
Riumi became the first woman to play in a game for any of the 4 major North American professional sports leagues when she suited up for the Lightning in a preseason exhibition against the
Wait.
St.
So
Louis
she
Blues.
did it. So she did it
That's
first.
Far cry
She was
from
the
Stanley
first.
Cup.
Hold on. Pause. She was the first female
in
to.
1992.
Okay, and then hockey decided, nah, this is fucked up, and we didn't do that anymore. And then all the other sports were like, we're gonna put.
But wait, that was a preseason game. But wait, where did the
It is a
Stanley Cup come
preseason.
in? I want to know.
Yeah, I got to
Chief
figure this
Fontes.
out.
Yeah, it was preseason.
That's like Tommy Douglas with. the potato
Also,
for a
how
heart.
burly was she? Because I really want to know now.
What was her
Also,
name
she's
again?
playing goalie. That's the one position that a woman might be able to suffice.
I bet she wasn't that burly because she had to be able to be agile to be able to get to the puck. She was probably just padded up, like triple the padding.
Goalie. just kind of like.
Did
She's maxi
Keith
padded.
O'Higgins? Keith O'Higgins
Padded up.
did
Wim-
moistureless
John, you're on a
martini-
roll.
I didn't
Hey.
hear it. I missed the roll.
John said she was maxi padding.
Maxi
Right.
padded up.
Women are good at blocking men from getting it in.
Getting the
Okay.
puck into
She
the
was a
net.
puck block.
All right, I gotta go, you guys. I only had an hour tonight, so
Oh,
Okay, it
I
was
gotta
good
get
to
back.
see you.
It's great
I love
seeing
your
you.
Good seeing you,
faces.
Shep.
Yeah,
Shep,
bye
you
guys.
Shep,
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 take care.
not Shep.
Bye, Shep.
Sugar.
Okay,
See, that was the
Keith,
Tampon Bay Lightning.
you guys made her leave. Did you see that? You made her
Yeah,
leave.
it was the
Her
maxi pad comment.
misogyny made her leave.
It was the
now.
maxi
Wow.
pad comment that got her. She was like,
Uh-huh.
"That's it."
Yeah, she's like, I'm out of
Nasty.
here. Keith O'Higgins, did moistureless Marge catch Jatriot trying to order online more coccyx adjustment oil?
Yes.
Keith, you got me. I've been talking up the beard oil. It's multi-purpose, let's just say.
Oh no.
Damn. Jay's like, I put it on my face, and it's like, no, you don't.
No.
Is
You just like it.
said she backed up. She backed up for 2 other goalies, men that started the Stanley Cup final games later in their career.
Yeah, well, the New Jersey, was it the Devils or was it the Avalanche that had their backup goalie was like the guy that drove the Zamboni?
Oh, I just realized.
Like that was
what
his
team
actual
was that?
job, and they had him as a backup.
Yeah, no. He was the Zamboni driver, and both of the goalies in that game got hurt, and he came in. They had to suit him up.
That's so cool.
They had to suit him up in a real like normal season game. They had to suit him up, and he played goalie, and the team won. I can't remember who it was though.
That's like a Disney movie storyline.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Wait, they didn't have any. They didn't have any other players that were like out of net players that had played goalie when they were younger.
Nope, he was
That
the
seems a little
Zamboni
ridiculous.
driver, and yeah,
That's like a baseball game that goes like 20 innings, and you're like grabbing the ball boy to pitch or something.
dude, that was like
That's
when I
poor
was
planning.
like 14, I would go to a baseball game with my glove, and I'd be like, what if they asked me to play?
Yeah.
Like it was always in the back of my mind. It'd be
It
like,
might happen.
what if everybody gets hurt? Like lightning strikes in the middle of the field, and everybody gets hurt, and they're like, we need people to play, and I'd be like, I'll come play.
I got my glove.
They invented banana ball just for you, Brian.
Or when you go to an NFL game and you see those retards that like wear like all the pads and the jersey and the uniform of the team, and you're
Like
like,
every
you
Raider
are
fan?
so
Is
fucking
that-
gay. They're not gonna call you to play, dude. Like no
Dude,
matter
it's
how
so-
much you look like you're on the team, they're not gonna call you to play. And you're gonna sit in the stands and look like a fucking retard wearing it.
Brian, the best experience you can ever have, and I am a Raider fan, but like if you go to a Raider tailgate party before the game and you go hang out with those guys that you just described, it's fucking hilarious because they're like
With like the
they're like
spikes on their
bumping
pads.
shoulders and stuff.
Oh,
They're like all amped up, like before the game, like drinking beers in the parking lot, and they're like wearing like shoulder pads and full on with all the spikes and everything, but they're so like serious about it. It's hilarious. I find it very amusing.
Jay, next time you see one of them and you see them doing that, be like, bro, maybe you should stop drinking. They might need you.
You might get called into play. So
They might need you, bro. You don't
keep
want to
your
be
sobriety.
smashed.
Yeah.
Actually, that would probably make it
When
feel less
Gruden calls
painful.
you, wait, who's the coach of the Raiders now?
Clint Kubiak, yes.
If Kubiak calls you, man, you don't
Yeah.
want to be smashed, bro.
You got to be
don't
ready.
wanna
I mean,
be
you're
smashed.
ready because you got your like skulls and your like spikes on your shoulder pads. That's
More
going to
intimidating.
definitely intimidate the other team.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Damn.
but
Damn.
it's hilarious. It's really funny how serious people take it.
That's awesome.
Good stuff.
You know what's not funny? Self-care.
Made me laugh.
What a terrible segue.
I love the segue. I love that segue. That
That was
segue.
good.
Make self-care great again this summer with All Good by Jessica Storm. Head outside with All Good's Bug Out Balm full of citronella and eucalyptus and lavender oils to naturally repel the critters. Tallow sunscreen with non-zinc nano zinc oxide for natural sun protection. No mystery ingredients like in so many commercial products, just 100% clean, organic ingredients with purpose. And if the sun has your hair feeling a little dry, show it some extra love with the Tallow Hair Mask, a customer favorite for softer, healthier hair after just one use. It is fantastic. I'm a big fan of the hair mask. Everything is handcrafted in small batches by Jessica in Florida with quality and simplicity at the heart of it all. Head over to badlandsmedia.tv/allgood and use code Badlands to discount your entire purchase and support the creators at Badlands Media. You can also find out more about Jessica on episode 10 of America First Stories. And again, that is rumble.com/badlandsmedia. Hit the playlist, and the America First Stories playlist is the one that you want. And Jessica is on episode 10. Really, really great products. She is like as she said, creating them in small batches. And the hair mask is delightful.
I
It
use
is
the
super
mosquito
soft.
or the bug repellent because we have
Nice.
mosquitoes from hell in our backyard, and yeah, it works.
I use the hair mask.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they-
is it your sister that's the hairstylist?
My niece.
Your niece. So your niece uses the hair
She
mask.
loves- she
Christy
loves it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Christy
she
told that
loves it.
story on AMS.
I got to
She
try
loves
that.
it.
Also, too, I mean, like recently they came out with a big study that proved everything we've been saying for the longest time about how sunscreen, the chemicals are really dangerous in sunscreen. So
Yeah.
invest in some of Jessica's sunscreen and all natural zinc and tallow. That's the way to go. It seemed real obvious to me, like slathering your skin full of chemicals might not be the best idea, that it might get into your bloodstream and cause some other unintended consequences. But yeah, so now it's been proven by the science. So, get some of
Oh,
that.
that ties into what I was going to say earlier. We're the test subjects. Like the time that they take to test these things is only a few weeks, a few months, but the entire 10-year study before they take it off the market is the test.
Yeah.
That's it. You are the test subject. We are the lab rats, because
You are the lab rats for whatever you're choosing and using for
Right.
your self-care and going back to the conversation we had earlier about what you decide to eat and put in your body as fuel. You're the test subjects for all of this stuff. So make better choices, get informed, and head over to badlandsmedia.tv/allgood. And it's Jessica. Jessica's fantastic, and her
awesome.
products are amazing. I actually have the slightly citrus face mask here, which I also enjoy, and deep moisture. When you need a deep moisture treatment, excellent stuff.
Yep.
All right. Did you guys see that Tucker Carlson and Hunter Biden are back to being besties again?
Oh,
It's not
Tucker
surprising.
and Hunter are besties again.
Yeah. So I'd like to kind of just take you on a bit of a very short. It's a very short journey, but it is
go.
still a bit of a journey. We're going to go on a journey, so hold for processing. All right.
Well,
Okay.
Trump
So
is going full blown war against the GOP right now. So
yeah, it's fine.
yeah, sure. Okay.
I'm here
So
for it.
we all saw this, right? This whole drama with I bet they're starting a party, and I was like, what are they starting a party, or are they just doing a PAC? What are they doing? This is
Blood
Marjorie
oath.
Taylor Greene. We've been betrayed.
Who's
What's up, right?
doing greetings for $150 now?
Yep. We've all been betrayed. Trump is whatever, blah, blah, blah. So Tucker says MAGA was betrayed. We all were. It's time for a new path forward. More tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. TuckerCarlson.com. You know what we actually need? Here you go, guys.
I haven't seen you in 11 years, though I've talked about you. Hunter Biden.
Yes.
I do too. Yeah. I like Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I like that there are people that have kind of woken up. I have really only one question, one thing that has bothered me. So I just want to ask you point blank, did you drop off laptops? No, the answer is no. I say to everybody, okay, show me your phone. Because I showed you mine and you didn't find a goddamn thing.
We get approached by Israelis connected to Benjamin Netanyahu who are shopping this stuff to me at Fox News. The way that it entered the bloodstream of American media was not right.
I don't have any more secrets. Donald Trump, I think he had such an opportunity. He just decided that all he was going to do was for himself.
One of my closest friends went off the deep end, and all of a sudden Trump's under the bed, and it's like, whoa. It's
He was under my bed. just
all the Tucker.
We're at an inflection point in this country.
What's your plan?
We are in desperate need of leadership.
So, did they actually think like having Hunter
Oh my
Biden as their face is gonna?
We need leadership,
win?
Jay. What
We're
else
gonna-
are we going to do? We
well,
need leadership.
we
Hunter
need-
Biden is the only choice.
Absolutely. Crack that.
And
easy.
by the
Is
way,
it
are we
every
really
night?
saying that he's really taking the position? And I don't know because it's a supercut, right? But is he really taking the position that he did not drop off laptops?
Yeah, what was that? I was like, what
Yeah,
the hell
he
is he
can't
talking
be.
about? But then the next minute he's like, I showed you mine. Well, how? What,
Yeah, we
I
saw
thought that
the
wasn't
pictures on
yours,
the
but now it
mean,
is.
I will more than happily let somebody go through my phone. I'm not going to let you see my text messages publicly because there's disparaging information, I'm sure, in there. But as far as crimes,
Nobody
no
can ever
crime.
look at our text messages.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
We're mocking everybody.
Exactly. There's no crimes in my text messages,
Agreed.
but there is going to be like people will have their feelings hurt, but
A not insignificant number of people will have their feelings hurt.
yeah, there's probably
Man.
a lot of people that will have their feelings hurt if they
Yeah.
went through my phone.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Uh,
Fuck them. No,
But,
that's a joke right there. Like Tucker coming out and having Hunter on. Look, Trump has said Hunter Biden is the only pardon that's legitimate. And if we are, to get along with that whole, Tucker brought his laptop to the only person in Virginia in that area that was a
Hunter.
Excuse me. Did I say who did I say?
You said Tucker, but yeah.
Oh, if Hunter was to bring his laptop to the only colorblind, legally blind person that couldn't fully identify Hunter Biden as the person that dropped off the laptop, maybe Hunter didn't drop it off. It is Hunter's laptop. There's no question about that. Like, do you know the amount of work it would take to fabricate a laptop to look identical to his in terms of the emails? Nobody's denying in the Biden camp that those emails aren't authentic. That there's a very real possibility that all of that was a fucking op, but
the laptop.
Yeah.
So
Like
the stuff
dropping
on
it
it
off.
wasn't real. So Marco.
No.
Polo
The
USA
stuff
and all of that.
No, the stuff on it was real, but dropping it off and did you ever watch what was the movie that they did, like the Joe Biden, Hunter Biden movie?
Yeah.
Do you
Where it was
remember
told
that?
through like the Secret Service agent's point of view? Yeah.
Yes.
What was that?
I
Who
can't
put
remember
that
what it
movie out?
was. It was
that
it
Daily
was like,
Wire? I feel like it might have been Daily Wire. Who has
No,
a
it
movie
wasn't.
about Muslims out? And Brian, we need to talk about Muslims too.
Oh yeah.
I was so triggered by your show with Alpha yesterday, but I wasn't triggered by you or Alpha. A little Alpha because
probably Alpha.
such a cop, but more so I was triggered by the chat because the chat was basically like, we need to ban Islam. And I'm sorry, the thing that they actually want to ban is Christianity. And if you give the government the ability to ban Islam, they are coming for you next.
Right. It's a slippery slope.
Oh, it's not a religion. It's an ideology. There are 2 billion Muslims in the world that call it their religion. There's 2.3 billion Christians. So roll it back, chat, before you start handing the government the power to regulate our religious beliefs. What is wrong with you? Okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
Lots of
that's
things.
that's one of
When I was a
those-
kid,
knee-jerk reaction.
we were exposed to, like, I remember people giving us videos or something, like talking about the Muslim invasion back in the 90s. Like, this has been it's kind of like Iran is getting nukes in 2 weeks. Like, this is which people are going to point to, well, there's a lot more now and all that kind of stuff as far as the illegal immigration.
Or the world's going to end in 12 years.
Well, that too, which will happen when all the Muslims take over or something. You just got to piece it all together. But you just got to defect from the stupidity for just 1 second. Then to your point, yeah, you don't give an executioner that is itching to use his freaking sword a bigger sword.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
In the
Change
chat.
your
So-
perspective about what government actually is, and it will change your perspective about what you actually want it to have power to
Yes,
do.
agreed.
Even if it sounds good in your short emotional,
I want to
knee-jerk
ban. I
reaction.
want to ban religions now.
Here's case in point in the chat, and I'm not going to say the person's name. So
Call
ban
out.
Sharia law then. Sharia law is banned in the
It's
United
already illegal.
States.
It is.
It's
already
illegal in the United States. It's illegal. And they'll be like, no, it's not illegal. I heard on Fox News that it's not illegal. Sean Hannity told me that they're practicing Sharia law. It's illegal. It's illegal. It has no weight of law.
Also,
And
the
that
people
is
asking
that,
to ban it, define it, please.
yeah.
That's the
also
other thing.
by that.
agree. But
That's the other thing. They have no clue what it is. So when I
think
when
it's
I
more
went over,
simple than that, though, Brian. I think it's that people want a simple fix. People want there is an expansion of Islam in the United States of America, and the reaction to that is, well, we need to use the force of government to stop this expansion. The things that you take exception with are already against the law in the United States of America. And that doesn't change because it's a part of their religion. You can't fuck kids. It doesn't matter if your religion says that you can't fuck kids in the United States of America.
Can't behead your wife.
You
if she
can't
cheats
be,
on you.
honor killings already illegal, but it is
Which is
a fight.
shame, by
It's
the
a
way.
fight. Oh my
Honor
God.
killings are
It is it is a fight that actually has to take place. And I think a lot of the people screaming ban Islam don't actually want to fight it. They don't actually want to go, they don't want to show up in their communities. And it's predominantly Christians, people that identify as Christians, that take this position that we should use the government to stop the expansion of this ideology. Where is the church? Where are you people showing up and countering it day to day in the communities, winning the hearts and minds associated with this? Nah, just use the government to ban it.
It's like using Ozempic to lose weight. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that's that same mentality we've been talking about throughout the show tonight. It's this quick fix. Just put the sledgehammer of the government on it. All, be damned whatever, horrible repercussions come of that to us, because you're not thinking like beyond the immediate gratification of ban Sharia law, ban Muslims, get them all out of here. This is why I think our community in general, there's this impatience with what's going on with the Trump administration. And I'm saying, like, I go back to, like, everything has to be by the book and by the letter of the law, or it's not going to stand. And it's going to have terrible repercussions for, you always have to think about, well, what if it's the shoes on the other foot? Then what happens to us? So you never want to give the government that kind of power. Sure, we were the ones that were targeted during COVID and could have been rounded up into FEMA camps, but I don't want to see the left thrown into FEMA camps either, because that means it's just going to boomerang right back on us. So you got to think things through and not have this knee-jerk, quick government solution reaction.
Yes. Agreed. And but it's very emotional, and it's, oh my gosh, it's the terrorism. It's it's hardwired to the terrorism emotional programming that was fed to us.
We all were traumatized on 9/11, and
So,
that just goes
so
right
here's
back
the
to
stats, right? So I asked ChatGPT earlier to pull the stats on religion worldwide and religion in the United States of America. These numbers come to us from Pew Research. In worldwide, Christianity is 2.3 billion people. 28.8% of the population identifies as Christian. Islam is 2 billion people. 25.6% identify as Islamic. Unaffiliated / no religion, 1.9 billion. That's 24%. Hinduism, 1.2, 14.9%. Buddhism, 324 million, 4.1%. Other religions, Sikhism, folk religions, Baha'i. I don't know. I don't know what that one is. That's 2.2%. And Judaism at 14.8 million people worldwide. That seems low. 0.2%. In the United States, Christianity, and this includes Protestantism, Catholic, and other Christian identifying people. And I think they're throwing Mormons in there too. 62%. The next number down at 29% is unaffiliated, atheistic, no religion. Next to that is Judaism, 1.7 to 2%, and Islam is 1.2% in the US. You want to make Islam grow? You want to lose this war? Start calling on the government to ban the religion.
Yep. So in the chat, somebody says, nobody said anything about putting the left in FEMA camps, but Islam is not compatible, period. Let me just, and I'm not a religious expert, but I can tell you I know enough about Christianity, the Abrahamic religions. I know enough to tell you that Christianity has far more in common with Islam than it does with Judaism. But that is the narrative that they want peddled out there. And this has been something, me and Ghost did a show about this back maybe like 3 months ago. And we went back in our own history contemporaneously. And back in the 70s, you know who it was that rolled out the Islamic jihadist terrorist thing in the US in the 70s? It was Netanyahu when he was living in the United States. Him and I want to say it was McCain was the other one. They were up in Boston, and I think it was McCain. I know Ghost isn't in the chat, but he would correct me. But they literally were out there on every news station they possibly could, telling us that Islamic terrorism is the number one threat facing the United States in the 70s.
Yeah, it's not.
And again,
it's our own government and the intelligence community that is the greatest threat facing America.
Exactly.
Because Islamic terrorism is our intelligence agencies.
Yeah, fair.
When I was in political science, my undergrad degree, my favorite class was one called political violence, and it was kind of a smaller sort of discussion.
This is your
favorite class.
Favorite class.
Well, just because we talked about like the IRA in Ireland and stuff, and then we went through a paper by a guy named Robert Pape, P-A-P-E, that was analyzing suicide bombing and taking to task the idea that it is ideologically driven, because that's what we were sold. That bullshit narrative. Oh, they hate us because we're free, and they'll just walk into a crowded group of people and blow themselves up because they want to get their 72 virgins and all that kind of bullshit. And so
there is that. There is some of that.
Very, very small faction.
Well, I'm saying that the ones that are actually doing it, what is like the question is it was wrestling with is like, what drives a person to go to that extreme? And he analyzed all of from like 1980 up until like 2000 or something like that, all the instances of suicide bombings that took place, all were from an oppressed, occupied people who were trying to use suicide bombing because it is so emotionally jarring as a way to try to get their point across or destabilize to the point.
Literally what terrorism is.
Yep.
Well,
it's to get your point across and to create terror in the area.
By the way, if you apply that definition equally, it's all military action is terrorism. And in fact, it's a lot more effective than a bunch of ragtag, towelhead people blowing themselves up in a market. But the point was, it's kind of like the mouse that roared kind of a concept where you don't have an F-15. You've got what do you do to make an impact? You blow up a bunch of civilians with a vest on and make the news that way. But all of them were people that were occupied attacking their occupiers. It had nothing to do with religion, because it also was, there was other suicide bombings in other parts of the world that weren't connected with Islam. But I'm not saying that Islam is a good religion, but the idea that, oh my gosh, there's 2 billion of them around the world, and they're these crazies and the Sharia law, all that kind of stuff.
I didn't say the 2 billion Muslims were crazy.
Well, no, but that's what that's
what we're told, though.
Yeah.
The stories, the stories are very powerful. Yeah.
Go back to the early 2000s and kind of what everyone's mentality was towards any Islamic person whatsoever. As if
that was so fucked up too, because we were told that we need to be afraid. This is, so 9/11, I'm 21, I think 22, 9/11. No. Yeah. 22. Well, on 9/11, we were told by it was like those death counts on COVID, right? Like they carried the death count on the screen through the commercial break. So you didn't forget how many deaths there were while they were pushing you pharma ads on the commercial. We were told to be afraid of the brown people, right? Anybody that looks Middle Eastern or they're a threat to you, be afraid of them. But then very short, like, I don't know, 2-3 years, then it's, well, we can't profile them. We can't, this is Islamic hate is a problem. We can't do that. And oh, by the way, all of you now have to take your shoes off. All of you now have to be strip searched. All of you now have to go through this because we can't profile. That whole thing was a guided operation for years through the manipulation of the public mind.
For sure.
Yep. Yeah.
So
they weaponized that fear against an entire segment of the world population that we have absolutely no reason to hate. And the only reason why they're giving us any problems is because it goes back to our intelligence agency. And you go back for the last 100 years of U.S. foreign policy. That's what got me all excited about Ron Paul back in the day, because he was one calling that shit out. He's like, this has nothing to do with Islam. It has to do with the fact that the U.S. has been over there screwing up their countries. And they're mad.
Yeah.
So kind of a point here. Somebody said name a Islamic country that has a Christian church. How about Gaza, Palestine?
Yeah.
Me and Ghost. I remember me and Ghost doing daily one day. We're like, wait, the Israelis bombed a Catholic church in Gaza. Wait. Whoa. Wait. They have a Catholic church in Gaza. That's supposed to be all the Muslims. The Muslims. We're supposed to hate them, right? They don't have any Christianity, right? Again, we have been told a lie about a lot of this. Now, to be fair, to be perfectly fair here, I don't. The Muslim faith, like I don't know what it is. They have like this like gene in them that all they want to do is reproduce, and there's they reproduce at a cyclic rate. And I understand what people are saying, like the worries about these migrants that come over here and they're able to have 8 kids and live off the government welfare and all that stuff. I understand that. That's not what I'm saying here. But we have, I mean, there's hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of Muslims that have been in the United States for years and have assimilated to American culture. And we're just like, all of a sudden, like, we're going back to the Bush era of like, oh, those Muslims, we got to kill them all. And it's like, holy fuck, where the hell did we go? Alpha, jump on, bro. Alpha's in the chat. Alpha will get fucking destroyed because Alpha's in the chat.
Not a way
Alpha's
to
in
pitch
the
him.
chat.
Right? Alpha, come in here so I can whoop your ass.
Get in
I'm
there,
not gonna
bro.
hang out with you.
Oh, Alpha, come on, because you're actually the one who triggered me on this. Because you know what it was? You know what triggered me and made me like, because I texted Brian afterward. I'm like, we have to talk about this. Oh, you're coming on OnlyLands. And we were talking about this on OnlyLands. And then I texted John. I'm like, we have to talk about this on OnlyLands. Because I was pretty hot about it. You know what I was hot about? The fact that the government should be able to define what is an ideology versus a religion. Because that's where the conversation is going. When you say no, First Amendment, you can't ban a religion. It's not a religion. It's an ideology. Okay, you know what happens? Pause. You know what happens when we allow the government to do that? The only acceptable version of Christianity is Zionism, and the rest of it's not a religion. It's an ideology. That's what happens when you give the government. They are already doing that with social. Like,
and Chris, Noam signed one of those laws making it basically illegal to read like. Peter's sermon in Acts 2.
Yeah.
Alpha said he needs 3 minutes. He's got to let his Netanyahu handlers know that he's coming on here.
I will.
He wants to
chat, Alpha, but I'll send it to you directly.
He wants to make sure that he gets his shekels. So,
by the way, the world's oldest, longest established Christian community was alive and thriving in Iraq until the U.S. invaded. And it wiped it out.
I always forget that I have to look him up as Alfredo because that's what he is in my.
So that's all. Yeah,
he was Alfredo in mine for a long time.
I knew him as Alfredo Luna before I ever knew him as Alpha Warrior.
I had to change it to Alpha because I would always type Alpha when I went to go to text him. I'd type Alpha and I'd be like, "Oh wait, it's Alfredo," and I'd be like, "No." And I finally one day I was like, "I got to change it." So
Alpha, I DM'd you the link in Telegram.
Before we went to Afghanistan, before we deployed forward, we had to do culture classes. We had to do classes on the culture and everything like that. And what we're told about Islam versus what it actually is totally different. What we're told here in the United States, Sharia law, this and all that, dude, I'm telling you, we walked through villages of people that have never seen an American before in their lives. And they were the nicest fucking people that you could ever imagine. They'd be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? Come on in. You want some chai? You want some tea? You want some, we got food. You want food? We got goat." And it's like, dude, you just killed that goat. That's all you've got to eat for the day. And you're willing to feed my platoon? And we're like, no, we're good. But they, very, very nice people. Now, to be fair, like Drake was saying, there are people that want to push back against American imperialism because that's what we've been. We've been an imperialistic society for centuries now. We're coming up on 2 centuries now of straight up imperialism. And I don't hold that against them. When we have 750 fucking bases throughout the world, how can you not look at us as the bad guy? All right, there he is.
Oh, snap.
What's up, fam?
What's
Well, y'all rowdy.
I was hoping you were going to be Asian this time.
I totally
you
was
get your ass
expecting-
kicked. I was like, what the hell's going on?
He
man?
looks
No,
Asian.
you're not gonna get your ass.
I was like, you need to come in here so you can get your ass kicked. Well, that's not how to sell it, Brian.
So
All right.
I caught a little bit of it. Well, anyways, I just want to say, I just had a steak.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wow,
Fuck that shit. I had a steak dinner with my son.
Oh, good
It
shit.
was cool. It was a real conversation. It was a real good conversation.
He's
so.
a man now. He's a man
He
now.
is, man. So Cam, I had the dad talk with him. Like, listen,
Okay.
like you're gonna go and experience life. I want that for you. Like, but just remember, showing responsibility when it matters is what's gonna separate you from the cream of the crop. Because he wants to go down business law and all that. Eventually, he wants to be a lawyer for one of the F1 teams.
Oh,
So
sweet.
but yeah, it was a good time. But anyways, why is everybody telling me you guys are a bunch of jihadi simps? What's going on here?
Oh, because so I started this conversation because
First
you
of
guys
all,
on Daily yesterday.
Team, what's up? What's up?
We know your allegiances.
See,
What's up,
he's got to
baby?
make sure he gets his shekels.
Yeah,
He's got to make sure he gets
there's
his
no
shekels.
credibility to his argument anymore.
That's only
pissed-
1,000
I pissed
shekels,
somebody
man.
off
It
in
went
the chat.
down.
I thought it was
They're like,
7.
Netanyahu's signing the
7
check right
grand,
now.
right?
You only get 1,000 shekels for that. It has to be lit up. It has to be lit up to get the full 7. No, I caught it at the tail end. I jumped in when CanCon was saying some stupid shit, like
That's what I usually say when I listen to you.
that
Josh
we
is
got
always
more in
wrong.
common with Islam than Judaism.
We do. Whoa! Hold on. Now you're going to start me here.
Okay, good.
Christianity has far more in common with Islam than it does with Judaism. Yes,
none
it
of
does.
none of that matters if the parts that we have different
Oh,
result in the end of our civilization.
Oh,
we can
okay.
have
So Jesus
we
burning
can be
in a pile of human feces in hell.
who
That's
said
okay with you?
who said I'm pro-Israel?
Okay. But
Why is that the choice too? Why do you have to pick between Islam and Judaism?
No. You don't have to. I'm not saying. you
certainly
have to
do.
Why are
pick
we calling
between
it
them.
Judaism?
But here's the thing. I always hear the people say
Because it sounds
the Jews say Jesus is burning in shit.
Babylonian Talmud.
Yeah, and Muhammad was boning a 9-year-old. You tell me which one's worse.
Which is illegal in the United States of America.
it is.
Yeah.
So banning the religion, and you can say it's not a religion, it's an ideology. It's a religion that is observed by 2 billion people around the world. You're handing the government the ability to ban religion. They're coming for us next.
Fuck all the jihadis, and get Islam out of the United
nobody
States.
is supporting jihadis.
And get Islam out of the United States. That's where I'm at.
But not with the government, right, Alpha?
Alpha? How would you get Islam out of the United States?
Make it very uncomfortable for them to live here.
That I
That's
agree.
actually,
Yeah, that I agree
actually,
with.
Okay.
the Spoonerian response to something like that is just boycott them. So if they, all the corner shops and gas stations around here anyway. I got a guy I work with, lives in the hood. And he calls them the Arabs. It's all the Arab stores.
Yeah.
And they're getting like loans from the U.S. government to basically come in and start businesses and then do the whole, the daisy chaining, immigration crap where they bring their whole families over. I mean, really, there's 2 ways to solve this problem. One is you stop the government subsidy this bullshit, because that's why they're coming in. You don't go after businesses that hire them, by the way, because that's a person's natural right to hire whoever the fuck they want. You go after the government who's incentivizing them to come over, and then you use your natural right of association and stop associating.
I'm down with
And
that.
then if you know anybody that is, you stop associating with them.
If you look
that's
at
the way you do it.
if you look at a lot of the very Islamic neighborhoods, exactly what you just described, Jonathan, is how they take over those neighborhoods.
Yeah,
they get their people into the HOAs, they get their people into the local law enforcement. They buy it house by house until they own the cul-de-sac. And what happens? The rest of the people get uncomfortable because they're just like, I don't fit in here no more.
You bail.
And guess what? Now they want to sell their house, but guess what? You're not going to sell your house to some pro-America person, because when they come look at it, they'll be like, "This is fucking Mogadishu." Like I'm not moving here. So
Well,
now you're going to sell your property at a lower price, and guess who's going to buy it?
Right.
The family that they got set up for it. So
And
it's
all of
just
that is subsidized by the U.S. government, and that's the problem. Is
Well,
ultimately
so John, you're spot on. Don't subsidize it. But other than subsidizing it by the U.S. government, how do you stop that?
How do you stop that? Right. Well,
No. I'm asking Alpha. But,
No,
but
I don't.
Besides and Drake, me and Alpha talked about this on Thursday, and I'm with you 100%, Alpha, on deporting. The TPS, all the and this is everybody that's here on TPS, which a majority of them are Islamic. I'm all for deporting those people, and I think, and as we discussed, the people that have been here now long enough that they have birthright citizenship, they'll go with their families. But other than that, are you suggesting that the federal government go into like Wayne County, Michigan, and like just break up the Muslim communities in there?
I suggest that the government utilizes what it can legally do to make people leave. For instance, get our government through our representations to pass laws where you're not going to force young girls and women to cover their fucking face. That's a law that we're not going to accept in this country. And you make it, you go, because here's the thing, I'm not under the belief that Islam's a religion. And I think a lot of you guys understand that. To me, it's a political party that's adopted religious practice. That's the way I see it. And so you
think the government can make that distinction?
No.
The United States
Not our
government.
government.
Can they make
Not
that
ours.
distinction under our
I think where
Constitution?
our government is going, it will, in its current position, no. And this is why a lot of things need to get cleaned up in this, because
What do you mean
our
where
government,
it's going? Where are we going with the government can define religion?
well, it's not about defining religion. It's
It
about
is.
it's about recognizing what's a fake religion.
No, that's
No.
against
no,
what?
You'd have to
What are
define
you-
religion to
what
be
are-
able
no.
to say what isn't a religion.
Well, right, exactly what Cam said.
for
How
instance-
are you defining a fake religion if you're not allowing the government?
Here's the
to
thing.
define
This is where I'm at. Is Americans need to have the balls not to offend people. For instance, we're going to say that worship of Satan is a religion. Fuck that. I don't care. And create a constitutional argument for it. And guess what? We're going to have Christian judges that are going to have some ability of discretion that are going to agree with the American people. We need to stop letting our Constitution be the shield for fucking terrorists.
Okay, I'm not
And-
agreeing
and
with you anymore.
So
you think that we should have the U.S. courts in a position where they are hearing cases and deciding the facts, the evidence, and the law about what is a real versus a fake religion.
Before we get there, we need to have American people have an indictment against Islam in this country. Because once American people have an indictment, the courts, the government, they'll do whatever we want.
What is the purpose of government defining or not
okay, so
defining
here's
religion?
the thing. If we rewind the clock 50 years, let's go back 50 years, and we told our great-grandparents that we would be cutting off the boobs and penises of boys and girls, they'd be like, you're out of your fucking mind. There's no way. They would tell us that's a crime, and they would be right. But here we are through 2022 to 2020, well, not no more, but through 2022 to 2025, where we were doing that very shit. Why?
Still happening.
Because people found a way to exploit the protections of our country. So guess what? Now we find a way to exploit the same thing that our government has the ability to do, to send this pendulum right back the other way. And who cares if people get offended?
Well, I care. I care because you know what's going to happen, Alpha, is if we give the government that power, if we allow them to determine
that's why I said, Ash.
under whichever banner you want, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, they get to decide what's real and what's not real.
But
then they
that's
are
why-
coming for the Christians because Jesus is the only thing that's offensive in any of these exchanges. How did they get to the Abraham family house? What does Mike Huckabee say? Hold on a second. What does Mike Huckabee say about what the model is where we need to go? The Abrahamic family house. You know what that is? It's a mosque, a synagogue, and a Christian church. But they all had to agree to set aside.
But you're missing the key component of what I said. You're saying it's the government that's going into round one. That's why I said.
No, you're saying where we're going is where the government is going to be able to do that because we're not going to offend people anymore. And I'm saying you're offending me with that argument.
Why does the government need to define religion?
Well, hold on, you guys, because you guys are missing the main point that I said. It has to be a public indictment. It has to be a national American public indictment against Islam.
So a mob rule can decide.
Exactly. We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional
republic. We're going to throw out the First Amendment.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That's
Wow.
exactly.
Holy shit.
So what
'Cause-
happens? Hold on. So mob rule now. We're a democracy. And by the way, this is for all the chat people that are like, go Alpha, that are the same people that will tell me and Ash, stop referring to us as a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. Bull fucking shit. Because what Alpha is talking about right there is mob rule. That's a democracy. That's not a constitutional republic.
Here's
the First Amendment is the First Amendment.
Here's where
There's
I'm
a
at.
free
And
exercise of religion,
Here-
regardless whether it's Christian, Judaism, Buddhism, Muslim, Islam, whatever it is.
this is why I said the public indictment has to be first. Why? Because let's just speak.
Hold on. What do you mean by public indictment?
Public
Like, just
indictment
against
is
his-
democracy.
This is what I mean. Every American that I
Oh.
talk to, not some,
Wants
not
to
the
ban
majority,
Islam?
not one American, and outside of like the social, like the alt media world, I'm talking about like everyday people that I talk to, every single one, white, black, Mexican, even people that come from Arab countries, all tell me, fuck Islam. The only reason people even think that they should consider respecting it is because of what fucking social media and alt media is putting out there. It doesn't align with American values. And when you actually talk to American people, everybody wants it gone. And the problem is we've allowed the perspective of, well, this is the Constitution and this is that. And guess what? Every single person that wants to see this country fall has exploited our Constitution for that very thing. And that's
Even
why
the
I'm
ones who
saying
wrote the Constitution.
it's a very dangerous. I understand it's a very, I will not disagree with you, Ash, that it's a very dangerous road to go down. I'll concede that argument. But this is why I'm saying that it has to be a public indictment, because then it's the public indictment that's influencing the government to do that. Because if the government turns
Natural
around,
rights, Alpha, the
Hold
public
on,
doesn't get to violate natural rights. Go ahead,
What is
John.
what is it that you're wanting the government to do in relation to Islam, provided there's the public indictment, and then there's the government defines what religion is, and then it comes down to actual action, and you're wanting the government to do something, or you're just wanting, like, I'm kind of confused.
I
as to
want
where
the government to take shots at the things that it legally can. Like, for instance, I would say make the argument that this is a political party, not a religion. Have the balls to make that argument. And then once you show that it is a political party that's tried to hide as a religion, now it opens up the gates to where you don't have freedom of religion anymore, because it's a political party. And then
Can we
from
do
there
that
you
with
can start
Christian
chipping away.
Well, hold on. So now you're encouraging the government to go against political parties?
When it's us in power, hell
And
yeah.
religions.
So when Joe Biden stood out there and was like, MAGA Republicans, MAGA Republicans, MAGA Republicans, MAGA Republicans, you're okay with that? If the power that be at that particular time says, let's go after the MAGA Republicans, you're okay with that? I'm not.
Well, and guess what? They didn't give a shit.
Also, Islam is not a political party.
It is bullshit.
Hold on, I'll have fun here. All religions are political parties.
I was about to say that too. That's where I was
That's
going.
a good point. I could show you as many
point right there, because they're all political parties, because Christians use their Christian values to engage in politics. Christian Zionists use their values, or lack thereof, to engage in politics.
Nope.
Muslims are going to do the same thing. Statists, because ultimately the religion is statism. And so that's the ultimate problem. That's why I'm asking, what do you want the government to actually do about it? Because if we really think that Islam is a problem in this country, which I'm willing to listen to, there's values that don't align and so on. These are different, but that's the same thing that comes with importing people from India that don't have hygiene standards that we like, or whatever. There's any number of things that we don't want these certain people here because of XYZ. The way you solve that is by not investing more authority or power with the executioner. It's by taking that personally and stop supporting like I already mentioned, you just withdraw your association. If the government's not paying them to be here, is not helping bring more people over, and therefore they lose their income because also no one in the community is supporting them, they are going to leave.
I don't disagree with that. I would say one thing you need to do in parallel with that is make sure that there's not an intelligence apparatus that's taking over their home countries and allow their home countries to have economic prosperity, so they don't want to fucking come here to begin with.
Right.
So this
And
way,
that's
being
what I was
uncomfortable
mentioning
here makes
the-
sense to go back home.
Yeah, they're coming here not it's the same kind of thing. If you think about, like, why was it that during the 1800s so many people left the United States, basically, and they went out west. It's because the government during that time had already gotten to the point where they were oppressed and wanted fucking freedom in America. So people don't just get up and leave their families and their cultures and their place where they were born because they just feel zesty that day. They get up and leave because they're fucking oppressed. That's been the story of human migration forever.
Well, a little bit more. You have that oppression aligned with formal organizations to help facilitate their pathway to the United States, because we're not the closest to them. You don't get to cross oceans that easy if you're oppressed. So it's that combination of it.
Yeah.
But
So the solution is not to empower the government with more. The solution is solved by your first point of the American people basically getting the balls to stand up to something they don't actually like, which in the age of social media is tantamount to changing your profile picture to have a fucking flag on it or some bullshit. Like that's where we're at as a culture, because nobody wants to actually stand up and use the authority we have. Go back to trial by jury. Nobody wants to do that kind of shit because they're all fucking cowards, or they don't even know that they have that, and they just want the government to solve their problems. But the problem is, when you empower the executioner with a bigger sword, he's going to use it on you every fucking time. So
only if you let him.
Well, so yeah, but
just real quick, J-Triet, fucking soft disclosure, you are the model. You look so much younger than the last time I saw you, bro.
Dude, I'm aging in reverse like that.
I'm
freaking
telling
movie
you,
with
I
Brad
looked
Pitt.
at J-Triet and I was like, dude looks younger than me, man.
Dude, I'm gonna be at GART. I'm gonna be 58, man.
No, you look good.
Where are your
I
birthdays
didn't want
at
to pass
GART?
that moment up.
Huh?
Your birthday's while we're at GART?
It's gonna be GART weekend. It's actually September 22nd, but I celebrate the whole month, so you know.
Are you gonna be at
the whole
month? The GART thing isn't in here. I mean, I have to
I
find
do,
out.
man. I milk
The
it.
whole
Like
month.
people want
The
to take me to
whole month.
lunch, dinner for my birthday. Hell yeah, I'm available all month of September. So anybody want to take me to the Golden Steer? Like Alpha and I had a freaking great meal there. By the way, I'm working on that, Alpha.
Me and Alpha had a bet, and I don't even remember who won the bet. I just remember that we had a bet, and I tried to make a reservation there. This was like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
couldn't make
No,
one.
I've been trying for 2 months, but I
Couldn't
have a
make
connection I'm trying to work on to get us a little reservation.
Well, hook me
Maybe-
up if you do. I don't
All right,
even remember who won the bet.
it
Me and
might
Alpha had a
be-
bet.
It might be Wednesday night because that
Alpha,
probably
do
be the
you remember
easiest
who won
night.
the
So if you
bet?
get in a day early,
Probably me.
CanCon, we'll
It
do
was-
that.
Which
it was
one?
probably me. If it was a bet between me and Alpha, I probably won it.
Well,
The
that
chat
is
will think Alpha won it
absolutely
because
what
they
you would
love
say.
Alpha.
I'm
They
terrible
love
at
Alpha,
bets.
but so
I
so
know.
Alpha.
I have a
to-
show because of it.
to your point, like I understand, like and again, this is kind of what John was saying earlier about, you know, the government propping this up, and this is something you and I talked about on Thursday on Daily. Like, I think the unassimilated Muslims that are in this country, and by the way, it's not just Muslims, there's, you know, all sorts of religions that are here in this country that
I
are
agree.
unassimilated. The Haitians, you know, there's a ton of these religions. We just focus on the Islam because, and I'll just say it, because I think that is what the Zionists want us focused on. That is the mortal enemy of the Zionists. But I'm all
Disavow.
for that.
Also,
Disavow.
Christians.
I know you
No,
disavow.
Disavow.
I know you disavow. But
also,
like
Christianity is the
but-
mortal enemy of all of these people and all of these religions, because it is the only one that's exclusive. It is the only one that provides a single path, a single gate.
Let's
and
be
it's the only
honest.
one that's true.
but it's like the
CanCon.
point.
Let's
Hold on, Alpha. It's like the point you and I made. There are Muslims in this country that we don't even know are Muslims, and you acknowledge this because they've
They're
assimilated to
asymptomatic
American
Muslims.
culture and everything else.
Yeah, and guess what? You're not going to find
They'll
them
show the
anywhere near.
signs of
They're not going to
Muslim.
be anywhere within 100 feet of a goat. That's how you know the difference. Here's the point I'm trying to say. If you got to choose, if you
Some
got to
eat goats,
choose,
some fuck goats.
if you got to choose between this,
That attitude is how you get to Mom Donnie, Alpha.
it is.
Don't ask that
If
question.
you got to,
Alpha.
if you got to
Don't finish that
choose,
question.
if you got to choose between
Don't
the
finish
one
that
that's going to come after you with this or one that's going to come after you with this, I mean, it's an easy argument.
They both
It's
burn,
an
man.
easy argument.
Burn.
Sean Hannity, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Hannity. There he is.
Fire
Sean
burns no
Hannity.
matter how it gets on.
There you go. Where's your CIA lapel pin?
Yes.
No, I mean, I'm just joking with
there are so
that.
many Muslims that
insane.
control the porn
You're the one that
industry.
fought JB over the USS.
Hollywood.
The USS.
No, I'm joking with that.
Yeah.
Listen,
I know.
Just for the record, in case somebody
Pharmaceutical
wants to clip
company.
it, I want APAC out of our government. There's shit. If there's an Israeli,
Hell
if you have
yeah.
if you have an American politician with an Israeli flag, remove his powers as a politician. If you don't any flag other than the American, that's it. I was just trying to have a little fun.
I'll go
with
on
that.
record and you can clip this. I want the government out of our government.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like that.
I like it.
I'm
My
not down. I'm not
position
down with
is-
anarchy.
I know.
Alpha, so I agree with you with what you said a while ago, where you said that the way that we handle this is to make it uncomfortable in our communities for them to practice the aspects of their belief system that are unlawful and offensive to our way of life. I think that's right. I think that means the church needs to show up in communities, and I don't think the church is willing to do that because I think a lot of them are on autopilot. But what I actually think is going on here is Jewish and Islamic kayfabe to convince the 62% of Americans that are Christian to allow the government to regulate religion. That's what's happening.
There's absolutely false flags with regards to this conversation.
yes.
Oh, geez.
I would.
Well, you just,
I would agree with you. I would agree with you completely on that. That there is a lot of kayfabe to really blow this into the public narrative. That said, it also doesn't mean that there isn't a legitimate concern that exists too, because you go to talk to the people that actually live out in Dearborn, talk to the people that live in Texas. We have, and I won't get too much into it because I don't know how much they've put out there, but we have teams that are going across this country helping communities to lawfully get back control and get these mosques out of their communities through a legal apparatus. That's happening because people are really uncomfortable and they don't like what's happening. So that part is real.
What's the legal apparatus to remove a mosque?
There is a pathway to do that stuff.
What is it?
Please tell
What
me.
is
What
it?
I'm not on that
Government
team.
churches next
I'm
to do that.
not on that
Oh, wait.
team, so I can't.
Burning Bright, you're
I
really
can't
low.
train
We
it.
can't hear you. Like I see your mouth moving, but I don't hear
Yeah.
you.
Maybe my
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Your
You're
volume's
using
probably
your
super
camera
low.
mic, probably.
Here we go. Here we go.
He
There
looks
we go.
pretty
Better.
though. I mean, that's all that
better.
really
All right, did you
matters.
get a haircut? That's good.
Alpha, man. So yeah.
Matter. They never have. Or you're like racially ambiguous. At least Cam's chosen a side.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So
a
like
flag out
your
for
bullshit
all-
about like sometimes
Cam's
I'm
all in.
Mexican,
Absolutely
sometimes I'm
black.
white, sometimes I'm whatever Filipino, whatever the hell you are. Like let's you get to have the religious argument because there was a time when we were kicking all of y'all out of here. So I could take your argument and take it a few steps beyond and say, how enriching has your community been for my community? But I actually came here to ask genuinely, where did these chatters come from? Are these Alpha fans?
No,
Probably.
They're
So, for example,
Which chatters?
Yeah, because there's a bunch of people.
Q2AI 1PAJDTPVGZNHAUOQ.
That's Alpha's burner.
That sounds like a fake one, but I will say that
Big
yesterday
fan of
on
Alpha.
Daily, there was a lot of people on Alpha's side of
The-
convincing the U.S.
the-
government to regulate religion.
It's okay,
The
but
Judeo-
watch woman on the wall 264523QXR is also a huge Badlands fan, I think, probably, right? That wasn't a random number generator that created that name.
Well,
I see Watch Woman on the Wall 2015, but I don't see the string of numbers that you see.
No,
Is there
I
a
think
different one?
I see.
I think that
And
there
I've seen
are,
that account before.
I think
Oh,
there
yeah.
are some passionate Americans that disagree with me. Like there was some, I don't remember the handle. They may want to say it again, but there was somebody on YouTube that says, I don't fucking like Alpha, but I agree with them on this. And it's because this is an argument that I feel most Americans, they don't want Islam in the United States.
The problem, Alpha, is that while probably most of us would agree with that, it's, again, as everybody has been saying, I'm sure tonight, what what do you put into cement to what sort of protocols do you put in cement to create that sort of situation.
You leverage what they've been doing to get the positions. For instance, and this isn't just the Muslims. There was Asian communities that did this as well a very long time ago.
Yeah, we put
They
them in
would take
camps.
I'm
they
equal
would take
opportunity racist. You don't have to convince me, Alpha.
listen, anybody that wants to force Americans out of their community, I don't care if they're round eye, slant eye, dark brown, red, whatever the case may be, fuck them. That's where I
As long
stand.
as they're not white.
Even if they're Muslim.
Well, no, because you
met
have
a
a lot of
white
white.
Muslim?
You have a lot of white people that want to promote this shit.
So
It's
let's
crazy.
say, so hang on a second. Let's say that you get what you want and you get the mob rule, right? You get
Well,
the
no,
public
before we get
mind
to the mob
move,
rule, I
you
don't
get-
want to
that
answer.
was
I want
your-
to.
That was your condition.
No,
Your
what I'm
condition
saying
was
is-
that we needed the public mind before the government could ban a religion. So
Well, yeah, and with that was what I said initially, which is make it uncomfortable. And what I'm saying, what BB says, or I don't remember how you formed the question, but the answer I was going to respond back to is how do you make that happen? It's using their playbook against them. When they come into these communities and, a cul-de-sac turns into an actual community and they take over the law enforcement agencies, you have people that try to go get licenses to run their businesses in there because they're trying to push back against it. But guess what? Because they've infiltrated local government, they find ways to circumvent those small licenses so they can't get that business in there. They find ways to make it so where your kid can't get into that school to keep it so that it's their school. You'd use the shit that they're doing right back against them with the more leverage because there's more of us than there is of them.
Well, that sounds like you need to fix elections.
I just don't think that's on a-
be able to have the people voted out that have gotten into the government through a legal process because everything's been manipulated.
Look at how many mosques were in this country in 1980 and then go run the numbers right now. And why? They weren't trying to do I agree with BB that route's not going to be an overnight fix. You're not going to do that in 2 or 3 years. But look they've done it over decades and they've been efficient with it.
This is a culture.
Yeah, my
war, though.
point would be more that it's less about the religion, even though I know the religion is the animating force of. I'm not defending the religion, by the way. I'm just saying you could replace Islam with communism, with socialism, with whatever, right? Like take religion out of it.
election denialism.
Yeah,
The
we've
mob,
got
the mob doesn't want that either, Alpha. Back in 2021,
I think the problem is our political system as it stands, which is that you've got, again, mob rule. So, yeah,
Which is majority rule.
And if you've got majority Christian, sure. But again, the whole idea baked into Christianity is that there was a time when Christians were not the majority. And, we didn't think mob rule was great at that point in time. And I think this is why we need wholesale changes to our system of government, including on the local level. And by that, I would say we need checks on what the government can do to any sovereigns anywhere. So when you're talking about businesses and that kind of thing, that's being made about, there's Muslims who took over a community and they're barring what businesses get in. Why does the government have anything to do with any of this, right? So you have to keep digging further into the problem is what these guys are saying. It's it's just by your own argument, you're saying that if there's, so here's how I can beat this argument in a second. And I can send you guys the links to some YouTube videos I was watching earlier today from Razor Fist and all kinds of other people. Pat Buchanan was writing about this in 2002.
What argument are you beating, though? Before you give us the answer, what is the argument?
Alpha was saying there's more of us, so we can just,
mob rule.
We can band together and mob rule and get rid of them. Yeah. Well, who's breeding besides you're a Mexican, so you're doing your job, Alpha. But
for the record, I'm American.
Who's breeding the most? Do you know who's breeding the most?
Muslims.
By many orders of magnitude.
8 to 1.
By many orders of magnitude.
Me and CanCon had this conversation.
I said this.
So what do we do about that? We just fuck a lot. That's my solution.
Well, why
the Americans in general?
Why is that birth rate an issue? Because there's been a cultural attack on our country to make Americans not want to have.
Yeah, but if you have a majority rule system, then the group that has the most people just wins. So it's just not,
which is not our form of government, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Hang on, because this is something. This is something that me and Alpha talked about on Thursday. And the reason that 8 to 1 is able to suffice and that it's able to stand up is because our fucking government subsidizes it. Because these people are going out there and they're having 8 kids. Nobody on this panel right now. We all make a pretty decent. I'm sure most of us make a pretty decent living. None of us could afford to have 8 kids. None of us. There's
Came
no
close. Speak for
fucking
yourself,
way.
I'm rich.
Nobody
Came close.
There are very few people in America today that could have 8 kids and still be able to raise a family. We're not talking about 80 years ago when our grandparents had 8 kids, right?
If you spread it out over 25 years,
it's government subsidized Islam, right? That's
exactly
what it is.
No.
Just like
it's not
it's
that just
government
there's a bunch
subsidized
of
welfare, it's government subsidized, small corner stores being owned by Indians, and like I mentioned earlier, the guys like the Arabs. That's the problem, is because ultimately we collectively are statists, and we want the government to solve our problems, and the government's just going to keep expanding and keep growing because of the borrow and tax powers of the Constitution. They're always going to find an excuse to borrow more so they can tax more. That's really the underlying root of all this, because all political power, as it is called, rests on the matter of money.
I am with Alpha 1000% on that specific topic right there, that they're only able to reproduce at that 8-to-1 ratio because of the government subsidies. I'm with Alpha 1000% on that. That shit needs to fucking come to a stop quick. I'm with them 100% on that. Everything else about stopping First Amendment rights to free religion and practice.
Yeah,
you lost me on that.
I didn't say stop free religion. I said recognize that it's not a religion.
No, you're basically saying mob.
It's not a
rule
religion
to run mosques out
What
of
is a
countries
religion?
or communities.
I mean, if we want to go super extreme, I don't think any religion should be protected to any degree more than any citizen in any way. So that's what I think. I mean, I think that every person should have the exact same rights, which means that any group of people should have the exact same rights.
Yeah, I agree.
So I actually think we fall into a psyop on top of a psyop when we start granting religious rights. So I can kind of agree with what you're saying there, Alpha, but I would extend that to Christians as well and say that giving protected status to any group of people based on a government definition of that group of people, which is what it would be, because it has to be by definition a government definition, because the government has to ratify the definition of the people that they are granting the rights to. You are granting protected status to a protected class. And when you do that, it's never a good thing, even if that protected class of people is a good class of people. We have to have a system where everybody individual has the exact same starting parameters and exact same rule set applied to them, including Muslims, including Christians.
I don't disagree with that. But the thing is it becomes that issue when you've allowed your country to be culturally overran by all these other cultures that are not a part of its true foundation.
That's a culture problem, though, right?
Well,
and that has to be one on a cultural perspective.
And I would agree with that. The problem is our corrupt government over the last couple of decades have made sure that this cultural infiltration has happened.
Which is why the government is the problem.
Right.
It always has been.
Why you don't ask the government to be the solution, right?
Until you've taken back control of the government.
But then when you lose the government,
also, what do you think the government should exist for? Which is, like I've asked before, like representative to what end? And how you answer that then matters how you're going to answer the question of whether or not the government should define what a political party is or what a religion is. Because at the end of the day, if you're asking those questions or you're wanting the government to answer those questions, then I think your view of what government should be is fundamentally flawed. Because the government should only be
there's different timetables. There's what I want the government to do now under Trump to get us to where we need to be. And then once where we need to be, then there's what I want the government to become. What you guys are describing, the very, very limited government, I 100% subscribe to that when we've taken back control of our country. Right now, unrestricted warfare, I want them to operate in every gray area that exists in our Constitution to get
Who's
every
them?
sleazebag.
The illegitimate government? You want them to operate in every?
No, I'm talking about the legitimate ones that exist in our illegitimate government that are trying to help save this country. I want them to do what they need to do to get all the clown bags, the corrupt part of the government, all the people that don't belong in this country. Let's utilize everything we have to do, even going into the gray area, even going into the controversial areas. Let's do that because what's that?
Are we waterboarding?
No. So what Alpha's
listen,
referring
if
to,
you
I
got to
think, is-
waterboard some people to get intel, fucking waterboard them.
I think what Alpha's talking about is like the temporary protected status type stuff, the people that are here on green cards that, and this is from green
I'm
cards
talking
down.
the 18 to 30 million people that came across our border illegally.
Yeah, hold on. So from the green cards down,
every
the
one of
green
them.
cards that are here illegally that have violated laws, and then from there all the way down, you're out. If you're here illegally, doesn't matter what the fuck you've been here for.
If there's a foreigner that came
I'm
into
with
our
you. I'm
country,
with you on that.
if someone came into our country illegally, I don't got issue with that.
Burning
If-
Bright,
if-
you
if
agree
that's
with
what-
that, right?
No,
Anyone that's
What?
here illegally, throw them the fuck out. Illegal.
Illegally?
Unlawfully present after crossing the border. So crossing the border, coming into our country unlawfully is a criminal violation. Being here unlawfully is a civil violation. Everybody will always point to the civil and say, "Oh, it's just a civil violation. It's not a crime." The fact that they're fucking here means that they've committed a crime. I am fully on board with every single fucking one of them needs to get the fuck out.
I would say the short term answer, short term timeline answer is yes. I agree with that. The longer timeline answer is something Ghost and I talked about a lot on I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a Blitz a few weeks ago. One of the reasons that we're like the only ones who talk all the time about what's not happening in this country is because it turns out that what's going on outside of the walls is way more important than what's going on inside the walls. And Americans don't understand this, including most people that I interact with every day. And I mean that I don't mean that on a moral argument. I mean that on a logical argument. If you live in a hostile world and in a hostile environment, you are going to have to adopt a war posture at all times. And there's plenty of Americans, and Alpha would probably be one of them. I'm not even shitting on him. I'm saying like earnestly. And maybe a lot of people in the Badlands audience and in just like that we know have that posture. We have that sort of a posture. That is not good in terms of the world. And I'm not saying that in terms of like, oh, bleeding heart liberal bullshit. I mean, mechanistically, when you reverse engineer these foreign problems, like Ghost and I do a lot, and you realize that even though it's become a CNN talking point and that annoys us, we literally created the cartels. Literally. Yep. We literally created them. We literally created the School of Americas. We literally created all of the problems in South America. We literally created ISIS, 100% of it, with our money and with our intelligence. And then you reverse engineer all of I'm going to accidentally end up agreeing with Alpha, but you reverse engineer all of this stuff into all the problems we have at the end of the day with foreigners and illegals being in this country is that they suck, right? Like, it's not that they're great people who are here contributing to the United States. And we're like, but you're illegal, man. You're contributing. You're doing a great job. You have awesome values, really like you, but you're illegal. So fuck you. I want your family to burn. We're usually like, you're a piece of shit. You're an extremist. You don't like Americans. You're anti-Christian. You're anti-white. You're anti-democratic. You're anti-women, whatever it is. You're anti this, that, and the other thing. That's why we want you gone. It's not because you're an illegal immigrant that we want you gone. It's because you suck that we want you gone. Because if it was up to me and you want to get rid of a lot of people, there's a lot of American communities I'd deport pretty damn fucking quick before I would deport some illegals. Like, there's a lot of illegal Mexicans that I would happily take in as opposed to Baltimore. If you want to like carve Baltimore out, and just be like, get the fuck out. 100%. I'm okay with that. Who shares American values more? What percentage of Christians are there in Baltimore versus in Mexico City? You want to do that math? Like, what are we talking
There's more
about
in Mexico for
when
sure.
it comes to when it comes to values? What are we actually talking about? And when it comes to legal status, what are we actually talking about? So it's a cop out, but you know, if we're in war posture, permanent war posture, everybody get out, everybody stay out, but you have to recognize that that's always going to be the case then, right?
Yeah.
Always. You are going to have to man the walls. You are going to have to keep everybody out, and the rest of the world's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. The tricky situation, I think,
train for war.
yeah, and I think the tricky situation, John, is that we don't know in our kind of lifetime and generations, what does the rest of the world actually look like in an environment in which United States intelligence has not killed their leaders, tortured their citizens, and placed terrorist cells into these countries. It's not me making a blind defense of Islam. I'm not like trying to defend Islam, but I am saying, you know who's doing a lot against Islam? The Taliban, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan right now, right? You know who those are? They're Muslims. Yeah. Because it turns out that the Muslims that have been killing everybody are CIA, Mossad, MI6 fomented Muslims, which are also probably assisted by Muslims who are just extremists by their own nature, right? Just like you can find Christians who are Christian ethno-nationalists who want an ethno-national Christian superstate. And there are definitely Muslims that way too. So that, you know, we try to distill these things down into binaries, and I think it's totally understandable why we get into that posture, but I really think it depends on your time horizon.
Because I think that people do want to boil this down to a binary, right? Well, we have to pick the Jews over the Muslims, right? That's where we're being corralled narratively. We're being herded into that posture, and it's been. Have you noticed this rise? Because it feels like post 9/11 almost in terms of the level of Islamic propaganda that we're getting right now, and it's sudden. And it's like all like there's this idea that
it feels like it did immediately post 9/11.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This is the greatest threat that we have is all the Muslims. And it's like, no, assholes. The greatest threat that we have and had and will have in the future is our own government who is creating this problem and then labeling it something else.
But not
Trump. I wouldn't group Trump in with that. I
just want to clarify because people clip that and they will attribute that to Trump. And I think Trump
has done more for the Muslim world in terms of America's
perspective. But the thing is
anybody.
There's a difference between the Muslim world and the Islamic world. It's not the same.
It's God.
It's not the same. Oh my God. It's not the same.
Oh my God.
Well, you're gonna have to explain that because
you're definitely gonna have to explain the difference between the Muslim world and the Islamic world now.
For instance, I'll use what Ghost said on this show that I had last Sunday. You have countries like Saudi Arabia, countries like Iran.
Deal with our own borders.
I don't disagree with that, but I'm answering your question. You had countries that had very Western style cultures to them. But then you had an apparatus within this Islam, the Islamicists, if I even said that correctly, right? That look at this more through the political lens that say, we can be more Islamic than you. They raise the ante. No, we'll be more Islamic than you. We raise the ante. And that's why I'm saying this is why you can have countries like Saudi Arabia with MBS that can have these points. And Trump is doing this.
He's creating a political ideology and not a religion too? Is MBS's religion not a religion but a political ideology?
I don't care what MBS does in his country, as long as he doesn't bring it to America.
You made the point that Islam is not a religion; it is a political ideology. Is that true for the king of Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, I would say it's true. Why would it be different over there? I just don't give a shit because it's Saudi Arabia. It's not America.
Would you say that Zionism and Islam are similar, whereas Judaism and Muslim would be similar? Is that how you're trying to break it down?
So here's what I'll say. I think Islamists, the crazy Islamic extremism and the crazy extremist Zionists are equal threats to this country
I agree with that.
in different ways, but equal threats to this country.
But what if both of
some of those ways are the same?
were fermented and created by Western intelligence? That's the
I don't disagree with that.
I know, but I'm saying that matters, right? Like, so
it does, and that's why we see Trump. He's trying to create a pathway towards economic prosperity in these other parts of the world.
I know.
And that's why I said
all the time.
That's why I said
came up with the Sovereign Alliance. I know a lot of people try to co-opt that, but I came up with it 5 years ago.
I would say the way to attack this problem is to start one side. You start with the intelligence communities. You go after them through whatever ways you can do it, whether it's from President Trump's in or whatever we can do. And then from the other side is culturally. That's the only way you keep these things from coming into the country, because everything else outside of it is getting to where government gets more power or mob rule comes in, and that's not sustainable, and it's just helping out the intelligent communities.
Well, I would agree with that, and I would also say that I think, to my earlier point, on a short-term basis, I think we do need to adopt a warlike posture when it comes to illegal immigrants, and many of those, like, the problem's going to take care of itself when we're talking about ideologies. Like, what ideologies are the problems? Well, a lot of the ones that are illegal immigrants are the problems. So I think we do temporarily need to adopt a warlike posture because of all the bullshit that's been going on. But I think on a long enough timeline, we want to be very careful with having the government, like the constitutional government, quote unquote, start putting parameters on religion, etc. If they don't need to put any parameters on that, because they just need to put parameters on constitutional rights, human rights that we all recognize. And if a religion violates those, then fuck them. It's the same
because
as
this is
everything
like
else.
with a hate crime, like that's an aggravating element to a crime, but the real crime is the crime that was done, which, by the way, is not by statute, it's by intent. And so if you murder someone, you have, if you hit someone with your car and accidentally kill them, you didn't murder them. If you intentionally run them down, that's the intent aspect of it. That's what actually makes it a crime. If you're talking about a hate crime, you're talking about something that the government has defined an extra layer of criminality that doesn't
as an ideology.
Exist. So that would be analogous to trying to define a religion versus a political
just for the
ideology.
record, Jonathan, when I was a cop, I always brought this question up and pissed off the watch commanders, because I would always say, so if a dude kills a dude, that's murder.
Right.
It's capital, one of the worst crimes you can do. But if he murders them because the dude was gay, then it's super bad at that point. Like, what's the difference? It's murder.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But to me, that's analogous to even what you're describing by wanting the government to classify what self-identifies as a religion as a political party. They're essentially splitting hairs with co-opted authority that they don't actually have. Because and this goes back to my point about what the nature of government is meant to be. The nature of government is meant to be protecting the rights that the minority has, which are the same rights that the majority has, but the majority being stronger will overrun the rights of the minority.
I don't necessarily disagree with you.
Right.
Here's what I'll say to that. And I know nobody's gonna like this. But this is and CanCon knows I've had this position for a while. Is like, for instance, to the Smith Modernization Act, right? During Trump's administration, it always puzzled me in that first one, like, why didn't he fucking get rid of it? Like, push Congress to get rid of this thing. And he didn't. And there was only two theories I could come up with. He didn't know what it was, which I'm not buying that, especially after people that I've talked to. Or the second one is because he was using it. And granted, none of us like that. I get it. But we're at a point where if we have our people, right? I know some of them are government now, but if we have our people in parts of government, you know what? Use their weapons against them. I'm all for it. And then I don't know if this is kind of what, I think I kind of agree with BB on this. I think it was kind of the same, this wartime posture, like a temporary position where we do this. I'm for that. With the understanding that I also recognize what you're saying, Ash, it's a very dangerous, close environment, because if we don't get it back, we're fucked. because you're right, it will get abused. But if we make sure that they don't, because we have
What
our
will
people
get
in power,
abused? This unfettered fucking power you've just handed the government.
Yeah,
to
but they
solve
already
the
have. I mean,
short-term
this is
problem?
why I go back and forth. I mean, so the weapons of the enemy. I've been writing about this for 5 years again, and using Lord of the Rings, which all people should. All good
Naturally,
Christians
nobody
should.
would expect anything less.
This is the Boromir refrain, as John Drake would know. The weapons of the enemy refrain. So it is the bad way to go. Things don't end well for Boromir. But Boromir was a good man who thought he was doing the right thing. And
He was
I
the
actually,
human-looking one that died early, right?
he's the one who
Sean
dies
Bean.
at the end of the Fellowship. And he says at the Council of
This is the first movie, right? So that's
Yes.
early. Yeah, okay.
He says at the Council of Elrond, why not use this ring? It is a gift against the foes of Mordor. Why
Yeah.
not use this ring?
So that guy's
And-
Alpha forwarding that argument, right?
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
Alpha.
And
Like,
I-
hey,
I-
man,
Legolas
use
says-
the ring, man. We just
I
played
picture-
it.
Legolas
We'll use the
says-
ring. We're going to use the ring
Have
for
you
like
heard
5
nothing
minutes.
Lord Elrond has said? The
I
ring
picture-
cannot be destroyed.
I
So
picture-
I can quote the entire movie if you want, but
Please do.
no. What
What
I'm
is the
saying
ring,
is
by the way?
the weapons of the enemy
Power.
Where the little
refrain
chick crawls
is,
out of the TV.
Yeah, it
The
makes
ring.
sense. It makes sense to use the weapons of
never
the
saw that
enemy.
movie.
Like that's
Trailer scared me too much.
it's an alluring thing to do. And the other part of it that I don't know if I agree with Alpha, but I keep it in my mind, is I certainly think it's entirely possible that the current administration, quote unquote, or white hats or whatever we define them as, are doing exactly that. I don't
Are you
disagree with that. The questions going forward is whether or not that is okay. So we might not really disagree on these kinds of things. It's just, like, do I want Boromir in the Fellowship? Yeah, probably. Like, probably a lot more of them die pretty quick because he's pretty good with a sword. But do you want him in Mordor? When you get to that stage of the game, you don't want him there. And
I
so, like, do I
guess
want
I hope-
Alpha around, like, at certain points? Sure. But, like, at the
Alpha's
end
like,
game,
you have my axe. Also, hear me
For
out.
now.
We should use the ring for like a bit.
Listen,
just a little. Just a little. We're just gonna use it a little.
The
You'll
ring,
be
by the
fine.
way,
I'll hold it. I'll hold on
and
to
nobody
it.
will
No-
I gotta watch. I gotta watch.
Ever use it after?
I gotta watch
Are you
the.
about to admit you have never?
have
seen
you never
Lord of the
watched
Rings?
Lord of the Rings, Alpha?
No.
Oh,
my
you
God.
get out of here.
I hope his struggle session is as profound as mine.
You
but-
people spend so much time
I-
reading
I-
the
I-
Bible,
Where is it?
and
Where
you've
is it?
never
There we go.
watched Tolkien. It's like, no wonder.
There we go.
By the way, the
Okay,
ring,
blasphemous,
the
but,
ring, the power of the enemy is
Who dropped him
collectivism.
out? Did we drop him out on
I
purpose?
did.
Oh.
I did.
I know about the
Left
little
it
beagle
down there for a
character.
while.
The
little
Beagle?
Dude, if you have never watched Lord of the Rings, you have
Beagle?
Alpha
no
would be
idea
a Boromir
what
Max,
you are
but Alpha, there's a lot of guys
proposing.
you'd like in Lord of
Alpha,
the
you
Rings.
don't understand war if you've never seen Lord of
like,
the Rings.
Here's
Lord
what I'll
of the
say.
Rings,
Kidding, by the
every-
way.
I've
Kidding.
seen I've seen enough clips, and my
No.
precious funny.
No,
stuff.
clips.
Alpha's saying put
I've
the
just
ring on.
Lord of the
put
Rings
the-
clips, so it's
Alpha-
fine. I totally know what it's about.
Alpha
what I'm
is saying,
saying-
put the ring on for a little bit, and we'll get rid of all the
No.
Muslims, and then we'll take it off when the Muslims are gone, and everything will be great.
Yeah.
What I'm
Muslims are
saying,
bad in the
what
Lord
I'm
of the
saying
Rings,
is
Alpha's
to
point, though.
what I'm saying is to another movie I did see, which is Gladiator, Maximus. Right?
That's some poor
No, stop.
imitation.
We're not
All right.
moving. We're
All
not
right.
moving on from this
Trump,
yet, but
with the
hang
exception
on a
of the
second. When
with the-
I revealed to Burning Bright that I had not seen the Lord of the Rings, I was then commanded to go watch
Yeah.
the Lord of the Rings, and then I was shamed for not watching the director's cut
Yep.
that includes
Yep.
additional hours.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Yep.
As you should be.
You should be.
And you're better
You
for
should
it.
be more ashamed.
And I'm a
that
Star
you hadn't
Wars guy,
read the books
and
and
you
then
should
I was
immediately
so
watched the
excited when I
movies.
got the reference you made last week. I forget what it
well,
was.
I raised a son who's seen them all.
Like,
That
he's a
doesn't
better
fucking
Your
man.
son did
matter.
better than you.
You're
I
so-
don't-
Your son is on the right track.
I
That's
can't
like,
use-
that's like being a gay dad with a
I
straight son.
I can't use.
He turned out all right. He turned out all right.
I can't steal his credibility by proximity.
No, man. No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
No.
Gay
Ring cannot
dad
be
with a
destroyed,
straight
Alpha,
son.
son of
But
glory,
in
by
the
any
end-
craft that
in-
we here possess.
In the end, Maximus. Granted, I don't like the part where he dies. I don't want Trump to die, but he does what he's got to do, and he gives power back to the people.
By the
How's he
way,
do that?
I'm the
He just
monarchist
says
on the
some
panel,
stuff.
so I'm okay with actually him using powers that's not in the Constitution, because the Constitution isn't valid. But I'm okay with when he does all those things. It still needs to be according to natural law and needs to be just.
Yeah. So, Alpha, I can agree with you on using whatever power is necessary, if you will acknowledge that that is illegitimate. Like that is basically where I'm at. Like we need to be, and I think where we get all twisted up here, which is what I'm talking about, intelligence. I know that we didn't create all the world's problems, and I know that there are ideologies, but the world's problems have been engineered enough where I think we have no real idea what human equilibrium even looks like, right? Like that's the era that I am interested. The reason I'm so interested in the sovereign alliance idea, of course, it's fun to think about Trump having allies in other countries, especially ones that we've been enemies with for a century. That's fun. But I like thinking of, what does that emergent era of that transition look like? I've been calling it in my writing for years a reconciliation era. I don't think we're going to wake up, we, the American people, are going to wake up in 2027 and be like, you know what, those Russians are great. I think it's going to be like, my kid maybe is raised in a paradigm where he doesn't think of the Russians as adversarial. And then beyond that, you know, they don't think of the Saudis as adversarial, and the Saudis don't think of us as adversarial. These are, I think, generational step changes that are going to be happening. That's somewhat rapid in the scheme of, you know, our histories. So I think in the short term, it's to each, you know, I'm a big fan. I use the term sovereign radiation, like, hey, condense inward and shell up and protect what's yours. And if that includes your land and your ideology and your religion as part of your ideology, do that. Shell up, defend your borders, defend your territory, defend your ideology, but acknowledge that whatever maybe you think about Muslims, about Islam, about whatever it is, Chinese, communists, how much of that has been fomented by the very apparatus that we in the United States are seeking to take apart. And one of the, it sounds like, I know nobody on this panel would disagree with this, but it is astounding when you talk to like what I would call a MAGA normie, like somebody who's at a Trump rally, but otherwise doesn't dive into this stuff deeply. They're just America goggles on, that they will talk about the deep state and all the time, right? And the deep state's after Trump. And when you're like, well, who's the deep state? And they start rattling people off, and it's like, they're all Americans, right? It's American, American presidents, American generals, American spy chiefs, American agencies, America. And then they'll be like, but China's bad, but Russia's bad.
But those Muslims.
And that's the thing where that both can be true. They don't have to be mutually exclusive, but I think there needs to be more of a reconciliation with what have we had to do with the fomentation of these foreign intel, the globalist deep state. People talk about people who want to blame everything on Israel, which fine. Like, I'm cool with that. I'm not a fan of the Jews like anybody else is. But who created Israel? It was us. People can say it was NATO all they want. The kingmaker on the world stage since 1940 is the United States of America. Singular. Everything that has happened on the globe has happened either because we have directly engineered it or allowed it to be engineered. There is nothing that has happened in the last 100 years that the United States of America has not completely endorsed or allowed, which means that all of these problems in these foreign territories, we at least have to clean our house, which I think Trump is doing, which is what I'm most excited about. And I think you can read a lot into Trump's posture toward these foreign leaders and adversaries. I think a lot of the, in fact, one of my, I'll hand it off, but one of my sort of like cute little theories the last couple of years, I think a lot of us would probably agree that in terms of public relations, Trump is taking a lot more attacks maybe in his second administration than we thought he would, like from his own base. A lot more criticism, a lot more slings and arrows. One of the ways I look at this is that he always knew this was going to happen because of the wrongs that our country has committed on these other countries. So one of my theories is that Trump is allowing himself to be honest, guys, even though we have our views on the Iran war, and I've written up 50,000 words on it in defense of what Trump has done.
Can confirm, yeah.
Just so we're all aware, Trump is not going to come out of this looking good on the world stage. Like it's the stories are already being written.
Yep.
Iran is going to be in a more powerful position as a culture on the back of this war. And now I support Trump and I support what he's doing. And I think a lot of us do. But I think there's a rebalancing going on here where I think some of these meetings between Trump, between Russia, I think we get it twisted sometimes. And we think Trump goes in and he says, here's how it's going to go. That's not how it went with these guys. Trump doesn't go into a room with Vladimir Putin and say, here's how it's going to go. Vladimir Putin gets to say, excuse me, hold up just a second. For a century and a half, the deep state in your country has been subjugating and genociding my people. So I'm going to go into Ukraine and you're going to shut the fuck up. In fact, that's why I think he left in 2020. I don't think it had anything to do with the United States. I think Donald Trump abdicated the American throne in 2020 willingly so that the rest of the sovereign alliance could do what they needed to do. And I don't think that was Trump's choice. I think that was a deal. And a deal has two sides of it. Putin has said it's a religious war that's going on over there. And he was going to do it no matter what. So how many of these other situations are going on around the globe, right? Like Mohammed bin Salman. You think Donald Trump's in charge of Mohammed bin Salman? Are you kidding me? Like,
Mohammed bin Salman is a super fan of President Trump. You can see it.
I'm saying though that he does not have the exact same agenda as Donald Trump.
No.
And Donald Trump has to allow.
Yes.
He has to make concessions to some of these guys, right? So I think that's where we have a little bit of a wait and see approach too, of what does the game board actually look like at the close of the Trump era. And when we're like, oh, the Muslims are bad, these people are bad, whatever is bad, I think taking a wait and see approach is maybe a better approach of like, where are these people at? Where are these nations at with regards to the United States at the end of the Trump era?
Do you think that the goal is to put the decision rights back in the hands of the sovereign nations and their heads versus the centralized shadow decision rights that we've been operating under? Or is it something else? Because if it's the former and we're unwinding, the Badlanders believe a lot of different stuff, right? We all kind of have different sets of beliefs. And there are some that are advocating for, we don't need nation states, actually. We just need these different solutions. I personally believe that the President Trump, certainly, if he's, my position is that his 2017 inauguration speech was a strategy paper for what we're doing in this era, right? And that included giving power back to the American people. But you can only do that. That's our form of government, right? In the United States of America, that's our form of government, is that the people are represented at the higher levels of government. He was the strategy paper is essentially restoring that. For the Saudis or the Chinese or the Russians, their way of government is not our way of government. So it is putting the decision rights back in the appropriate places versus the United States of America being the policeman of the world and spreading democracy which was never democracy, by the way, spreading democracy around the world. That's what's being dismantled. In a lot of ways, that's the globalist regime wearing the United States of America as a skin suit, not anything representing the actual people. Is that fair?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think
Brian, man, his power is taken
when
away.
I talk about the Sovereign
You can't take away
Alliance,
my
it
powers.
obviously sounds very Fellowship of the Ring-y, and I think that that's the case. I mean, in the Fellowship, you had people from different nations and different ideologies who came together against a common threat. I think that common threat with the Sovereign Alliance is collectivism, globalism, the system, as we would call it. It's the most mechanistic way I think I could boil it down is the rule set, right? Like there's a global game board and there's a rule set that has been kind of thrust upon that game board. And any nation that steps outside of the bounds of those rules, they get sent. If they're a very powerful nation like a Russia or a China, they get sanctioned and they get penalized by this other powerful player. If they're a not powerful nation, their leader gets killed and bayoneted in the streets. Their people get a genocide. They get a proxy war. They get an invasion, and we invent a story of,
And they're
of how that
occupied.
happens.
Yeah.
Real quick,
That is a crime. People should be arrested.
Three quick things, and I got to fly because the rest of the family got home.
No
the first,
shit. It's like 1 o'clock in the
Right?
morning here.
The first thing is J-Triet looks younger than when I even first jumped on the
After 10
screen.
for Alpha.
I'm getting younger, dude. I'm aging.
Yeah, so again, soft disclosure, promo code fresh. All right. If you don't go buy soft disclosure tonight, you're a communist. Just so you know that. If you don't buy soft disclosure
true.
tonight, you are a communist.
Very
the
true.
The second thing I wanted to say is Amber 1962 said extended version is the only way to watch Lorder, and I just realized LOTR is Lord of the Rings.
You
So all the times I've seen that everywhere, and I just want to say I now know. I now know because of this conversation.
And that was the moment Burning Bright decided to destroy you.
Alpha.
That was just so awesome. Because I've seen that so many times, like social media and all that. I was like,
Lorder?
Yeah.
I just want all of you that agree with Alpha in the chat, and you're like, oh my God, Alpha's right. He's never even watched Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
just remember that.
I've seen clips. I have seen clips. I just never seen the whole thing.
I've seen
clips.
I watched Jesse
Strong
Waters.
handheld sword.
I watched Tucker Carlson. My takes on Islam are totally great because I watched Fox News and they said the fucking Islam.
They got the dude Frito on there. That's like really popular.
Do you even know who
Get outta here.
wielded this blade in the first age, Alpha?
Conan.
You only know who wielded it in the third age.
He said Conan.
Like a pleb.
That's Conan. And then the last thing I want to say,
Conan in the Lord of the Rings. I don't recall that
No, he's talking
character.
about Conan
the only
the
person to
Barbarian.
wield a sword that matters is Conan and He-Man. So the last thing that doesn't count. That wasn't what I wanted to say. The last thing I wanted to say on the way out
What about
is
Excalibur? Like
just
what?
think-
What even?
well,
what?
I would get okay. I would appreciate that. I wouldn't argue that.
Whatever.
So,
I mean,
there's
the first
three.
time fucking
There's
Luke
three.
Skywalker activated his
No, that's
lightsaber.
not even metal. It's a fucking light. It's gay. But the thing
Luke's
I
the
will
cock. I've seen The Last Jedi.
so
Oh,
that-
dude, y'all fucking
they're
talked
they're
about that
they're
last
they're
night.
they're gymnasts with flashlights. That's all fucking Star Wars is. The last thing I want to say is America went all around the world and negotiated with all these different nation states. I agree with that, but the conversation went like this. Trump said, "You're going to do it my way, or we're going to conquer them. We're going to conquer the entire world, and we'll do it because we got these
No.
crazy ass sons of bitches called Marines. Love all you guys. Stop being jihadi simps. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Love you, Alpha.
Untrue, incorrect.
He's so
Yeah.
and people
to finish
will
that
love him.
point that I was
People-
making, that
pe-
Alpha just
people-
accidentally encouraged or accidentally bolstered, I think the end state is that no, we're not going to have a globe where everybody is all of a sudden following American ideals and republicanism and all that kind of stuff. What I see the Sovereign Alliance's end state is a beginning state. And that's not to be cute. It's, I think the Sovereign Alliance has agreed that the rules are bullshit and they are destroying the rules and they are resetting the game board. And they are saying everybody now is going to start from the same place. Obviously, there are different nations. We have different advantages, but we're going to start from the same place. And going forward, I don't think there's not going to be any new wars or anything. I don't think there's going to be a world peace forever. I'm not like one of those. I think somebody's going to step out of line on the game board in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years, and they're going to get their asses kicked. But I think that we are resetting a paradigm for an era. And how long that era is, I don't know. But I think Trump and Putin and Xi, Mohammed bin Salman, they have basically agreed we're going to stabilize the global economy. We're going to stabilize our individual economies. We're even going to help each other do that because it's mutually beneficial for us to have a stable Chinese economy. Because if the Chinese economy collapses, you know who owns the most US Treasury bonds? China. If the Chinese economy collapses, we're done.
Turns
if
out
the
natural
Japanese,
law
you know why
works
Scott
internationally,
Besson bought
too.
Yeah, exactly. You know why Scott Besson bought Japanese yen last week or signaled that they're going to? Because
he
if
wrote it on a
Japan
napkin?
collapses, the American banking system collapses. And like the globalists have done this to us. And the Sovereign Alliance is operating in the reality, like the hand that they've been dealt. So I think they're trying to disentangle mutually. And then, if anybody steps out of line 10 years from now, I think there's going to be pretty strong mandate between a lot of different players to punish them accordingly, but not punish them because NATO or the World Economic Forum said so and sanction them. It's more like, we don't trade you with you anymore, right? We don't defend you anymore, that sort of thing.
Okay, so let me reel us in here because we are coming up on 3 hours.
Yeah,
and
we gotta hit the rants.
I do have, yeah. So somebody pull up the rants here.
I'm not even on the show.
Cam has the rants. You are now.
I'm not even on the show.
Duck
Fuck you
out.
guys. You guys are gay.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not
Like,
gay.
like BB Alpha and BB come on here, and it goes on for like 12 hours. And
Okay, let's
I
turn
love
into the
Alpha
narrative,
to death.
didn't
I did not expect
And
BB agreeing with Alpha. That was a weird twist.
Well,
That
well,
was surprising.
he only mildly agreed with Alpha.
Yeah, I don't expect that to take.
I think
He
when you talk you talk that long, eventually you're going to come around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was unnerving. It was
Like
unnerving.
eventually,
You'll hit every
not
point.
recommend.
eventually he found something he agreed with. Again, it is incredibly disheartening. I'm not gonna lie, it's incredibly disheartening to see so many people in the chat just be like, the fucking Muslims, like, ban them all.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, man.
Coming for Christians next. If you give the
Yeah,
government
you
that
guys-
power, you
you-
fucking
You
idiots.
guys are next when you let that happen. You guys are next. And Alpha did nothing but articulate pure democracy in his stances. I love
We
Alpha to
did.
death.
We just have to get to a majority,
We
and
just
then
have
we
to
can
get to
mob
the point
rule
where the
it.
people
Yeah.
demand it, and it's like, whoa.
He
We have
swore
a
an oath to the
constitution.
Constitution. It's questionable if he's actually read it.
Democracy,
are the same-
aka
you guys-
a republic without the psyop of representation.
You guys are the same people that will yell at Ash and rant to Ash and be like, stop saying we're a democracy, we're a constitutional
Yeah.
republic. And it's like, bro,
You should know better, Ash.
you are
You
the
should
s-
know better than use the word democracy in a sentence.
you are the
Sorry,
same
you're retarded.
people.
Hey, at least I
Sorry,
didn't say
you're
our
retarded.
democracy.
Yeah.
Our
And that's my favorite point right there. Like, that is something, like, I don't fucking care if you don't want to listen to me anymore because I stand on that ground. I
It's
will
a ta-
not stop somebody from practicing their religion. I will not exercise any extravagant laws against somebody because of their religion. As long as their religion is within the legal framework, like,
Yeah, they can't fuck kids.
right, you can't
Right?
fuck
Like, they
kids,
can't fuck
like that
kids,
kind of
Already
shit.
on the
can't
books.
sacrifice
Yeah.
humans.
Right,
You
right.
can't
And-
all the things you're very upset about, all the things
Yep.
that you guys are very upset about are
Yep.
against the
And,
law.
and somebody will immediately be like, well, make sure they don't practice Sharia law. And it's like, that's the most retarded argument ever.
Define it, as whoever said, Jonathan, I think.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Define
not
it.
only
make the people making that argument define what they mean by Sharia law is what was his point, which I think is an
well,
excellent point.
not only that, find a law enforcement agency that is enacting Sharia
Okay,
law.
we have to get to the rants.
Okay,
and
get
I
to
have
the
go
rants.
to
Get to
bed.
them. Get to them.
Okay,
You
Cam
have to
has
get
the
to bed.
rants.
You're 2
Cam,
hours behind me.
I know, but I'm
It's only 11 o'clock.
much older than you.
It's
So much older.
it's 8 where I am today. That's
Imagine
Plus,
how I
you're a
stay.
woman, so you know.
Okay, Cam, you're on rant duty.
All right. You want me to go through all these subscriptions too? All
Just
right.
whoever, you don't have to read off who
Okay.
got them, but yeah.
The final demand gifted 5 subscriptions. Thank you very much. We got Hairball, not Harry Ball, Hairball Wizard gifted 5 subscriptions. I had Harry Balls on the mind. Rosalinda gifted 1 subscription.
Thanks, Rosalinda.
Shut up, Brian. Keith, did you read this one, Ash? You did.
No,
You read
did
the
I?
Enos Cantor.
Yeah, he read.
Yeah, you read that one. We read the lightning.
Yeah, I did. I did not read the Keith O'Higgins green one, the $2, which usually means serious. I did read the next G Fontes one because he was correcting his point in the moment.
All right, perfect. So Keith O'Higgins for $2 says the key to Danny Bongo's tenure with the FBI revolves around the FBI agent arrested on Dan's first full day of office, March 17th. Could be a Rumble Judas goat. Just saying. Anybody thoughts on that?
FBI
Not sure I
agent
understand it.
arrested.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who that was, who he's referring to.
Me either.
Who's the FBI agent that got arrested on Dan's full?
Yeah, put that in the chat, Keith. Thanks, Keith. Next up, Keith O'Higgins again for $1. Did the female goalie put an extra big tampon in her 5-hole? Thanks a lot, Keith. Thanks for the imagery.
Super glad you're reading the rants tonight.
Yep. $5 from Babbage3. Good to see you, Babbage. Congratulations to Ash and CanCon for 5 daily shows in a row, a record that may never be broken. You're the Cal Ripken Jr. of Badlands.
We actually did it without hating each other. I mean, more than we already do.
5 shows.
We did 5 shows together this week. Yeah.
Me and Ash
every day this
hate
week.
each other.
You guys are like
we hate
Laurel
each
and
other so
Hardy or
much.
like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis.
That is a real conspiracy theory that Brian and I hate each other, which I believe we should lean into.
You should.
It's not a conspiracy theory. It's the truth.
It might end up
hate
becoming
Ash.
true.
I hate Ash.
No, you don't.
I
All right.
hate Ash.
$5 J-Law Bronco. Green Bee Bay, no good. That's for you, I'm guessing, Brian. Green Bay, no good.
Green Bee Bay.
No good.
No good. I don't
Bee
know.
Bay. Bay
His
Bay?
name's J-Law Bronco, so he's probably a Denver Bronco retard.
Probably.
So, I
$1.
love J-Law Bronco. I love
There you
J-Law.
go.
I
Ash,
love
Ash,
J-Law Bronco.
Them's fighting words, Ash. Come on, go at it.
That's Super
I'm
Bowl.
certainly not going to defend a football team. Hockey is the only true sport.
Amen.
Heard that. $1 Keith O'Higgins. I want to see one of Hunter's paintings hanging in the new ballroom. I bet there'd be a coat room and a coke room. Yes.
That'd be
I like
fucking
it.
fantastic
I like
if we
it.
saw one of
That would be
Hunter's
great.
paintings in the Oval Office in the next week or two.
I was gonna say earlier. I think Hunter is the
How
he is the suicide bomber for everybody. He goes into your podcast and just blows shit up. He just ruins your credibility. You
I want to watch that Tucker
He's got
pod.
good teeth
that-
now,
that
though.
I don't think
Tucker
it's.
show,
I
yeah.
looked. I don't see the full form out. Yeah, I think it's
yeah.
teased
I'm definitely gonna watch that.
for sure. Yeah.
$1
I wanna see what this-
naturally Nikki. I'm way behind, but all these fat drugs remind me of this Doctor Who episode. Read the page, then watch the video. Only 4 minutes. That's a little long for us, but thank you very much, Naturally Nikki. I'll save it anyway, just so that I have it. All right. Oh, sorry. $5 J-Lon Bronco, more Alpha Dog, and then $5 again from J-Lon Bronco, just for Ash. So that one's just for you, Alex.
Yeah, it was really nice because I feel like J Law Bronco and I have been in a bit of a struggle session tonight. Like it's supporting and then oh my God, you're an Islamist, and then oh wait, that you said something I agree with. So I appreciate the shout out and the rant. Thank you so much.
The chat seesaw.
Good looking out.
Happens.
All right, $1 from G Fontes 119. There are several factions of Islam who are less than friendly with each other. Dispute who are the heirs of Muhammad, and then there's Isaac and Ishmael and Abraham, who are descendants of whom? Question.
I mean,
well,
that's
yeah,
just-
you have the Sunnis and the Shiites, and then Isaac and Ishmael were the sons of Abraham, and Isaac is the son of promise, and Ishmael the son of the flesh, which is actually, according to the Apostle Paul, is what all Jews are descended from.
Okay. Thank you very much. $1 Keith O'Higgins. Ash, you're right. I hate doing this, but it's you are right, not you're right. It just pisses me off every time I see it. It makes me so mad. I can't keep reading.
He wasn't
until I
talking
correct
about
it.
the rights that I possess. That's how I
Ash, you're
felt
right.
that.
Ash, you're right.
You're
You have
right.
you have one
It's
right.
You
I'm
only have this
right.
right. So let's see what it is.
Ash, you're Ash, you're right. Christianity is on autopilot. Unfortunately, it's wearing a pregnant female fighter uniform. Oh,
Who do
man.
who do we blame for that, Keith?
Ooh, Keith, I'm gonna let you handle that one. $2 Emerald Dragon 1333. In the words of CanCon, Alpha is an authoritarian. Love you, Alpha, just not your love of authoritarian power. Yeah.
Agreed. And what did I say before he came on the show? He's a freaking cop. He's such a cop.
Dude, I love Alpha to death. Me and
Agree,
Alpha,
we all do.
we will fight over stuff to the death, but we're still good friends at the end of it. But yes, he is very authoritarian in that regard.
We're just gonna use the ring for a second. Just for
We're only going to use the ring. Have you watched Lord of the Rings? No.
Nope.
So you don't know what happens after he puts it on for just a second? You don't know what happens? No, I have no idea. Well, go watch Lord of the Rings, Alpha, and get back with me.
If we don't use the ring for 5 minutes, then the bad guys are gonna win. So we'll just use it for a little.
We'll just use it. We'll just kick the Muslims out. That's it. Just the Muslims. Nobody else.
Just the tip.
Oh God.
Alpha.
Oh God. And the chat is like Alpha's right, and it's like, dude.
Oh man.
No. Alpha's not right.
It's a very obvious slippery slope. So
yeah.
Dude, just
It's not even a
tiny
slope,
bit
it's
of
a
second
straight up
level.
cliff.
It's not a slope. It's you either believe in the Constitution or you
Right.
don't.
It's a great hole
Period.
to hell.
Period.
But that in itself is also not a binary.
Right.
Well, that's
Okay,
a fair point.
Ironically, Alpha and I agree on that exact same issue, but for completely different reasons.
Yeah, but I don't think it ultimately though, John. I don't think you would agree with Alpha's take on that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Ultimately,
yeah. It's like a momentary point of convergence, and then we're back off like that.
Yeah, you guys can debate Alpha about that another time. All right, $20 from J Law Bronco. I clicked on the link. It's about 5 minutes, so we probably won't play it, but it's called Plastic Jesus.
Maybe as an
live
outro
at
if
the
it's
Lucky
not
Mansion.
copyright. If it's not copyright, play it as an outro.
I don't know if
That's
it's
a
copyrighted.
$20 rant.
I don't know if it's copyright or not, but I can play it.
Well,
as an
then
outro.
close.
We'll close YouTube.
We'll close
before-
YouTube and then we'll play it.
All right. Ash,
So
what were you
let me
saying?
know when we're ready.
We should have a Gart Vegas. We talked about Gart Vegas? Yes or no?
Not a
No.
lot.
Okay, we should have a Gart Vegas panel called "Much Ado About Muslims."
Ooh, I like that.
That'd be fun.
Yes, clip that.
And also, everybody, we are heading back to Las Vegas, Nevada,
Hold
for
on.
the 13th stop on the Great
the
American
graphic.
Restoration Tour. I don't have it.
Hold on. Stop. Watch Woman on the Wall says there were no Muzzies in the U.S. when the Constitution was written. Bullshit. Every fucking slave, like every slave that was in the U.S., we imported the Muslims. By the way, just throwing that out there.
Were they Muslims?
I don't think you can say
Yes.
that every slave
Not
in
every-
the
it
United
wasn't
States
every
of
slave. It
America
was
was,
like-
a Muslim. I think that
So I'm
It was
descendant from
like- it was like
Muslims. Is
half
that
of
what you're
them.
trying to
It
say?
was-
Out?
It was like half of them. It was like half of them. That's,
hold on a second.
So that's the same person that will be like, oh, the Jews did great things for developing our country when the first like Jew in our Congress wasn't until like 1830. But there were no Muslims in our country.
Badlands Media is returning to Las Vegas, Nevada for the 13th stop on the Great American Restoration Tour. Join us from Thursday, September 17th to Saturday, September 19th, 2026. Get early bird pricing for virtual tickets and save $10 through August 15th. That's coming up, guys. So we only got 8 more days. Visit badlandsmedia.tv/events. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have so much fun, and you should be there. So get a ticket. And if you can't be there, get a virtual ticket, because you'll still get to, be a part of the experience. You'll get to ask questions in the panels, be in the chat. The Gart chat from Deadwood is still going. I check it every day. So badlandsmedia.tv/events. Okay, keep going.
All right.
You guys are gonna have so much fun. It's
Yeah.
entertaining.
$5 from Larry5673 at Alpha. Stop all the basically free government grant/loans to foreigners to buy up all the gas stations and hotels, then constantly bringing family on work visas would be a good start. I agree with that.
Sure. Yep.
$5 from J Law Bronco. Circumcision, did God mess up?
No.
No. just because of the end part. I
Jesus
didn't even
is
have
the
to
lamb
focus on the
slain
first
from
part.
before the foundation of the world. There's no such thing as a mess up when it comes to
Exactly.
Agreed.
All right, $1 Keto Higgins. Muslim moms breastfeed. All right, I read this one earlier. Muslim moms breastfeed better. We need to fix America's boob problem. Mala, make America lactate again. It's a hands-on problem I'm willing to volunteer for. Wordy and nasty. Just how I like it. Keith. What?
This person in the chat is a troll. Like, I've never seen this person. I've been on Badlands since day one. I've never seen this person before. We've got a full-blown op in here. Go ahead. Keep going.
Which person?
This watched woman on the wall. is
I've
a
seen that
fucking-
account before.
I've never
I think
seen
it
that account.
always had the same vibe and tenor.
I've
but they have
never seen that account before. So whatever, you're retarded. Go ahead.
I'm retarded for saying I've seen.
No,
them?
no, not you. That
That's what I thought you were saying.
No,
That's what I thought you were saying.
That
You're retarded for
account
being able to
is
see it.
retarded.
I
like
can't
no,
confirm.
no, no.
I am mostly retarded, but
Well, I mean, so am I.
We're all a little retarded.
We're
A little
all retarded.
Retarded.
We're all
all right, $5 from J Law Bronco. It did say
retarded. Did you try to make it French?
Yep. Retarded.
It sounds so much more eloquent.
$5 J Law Bronco. It did say Bob or B-O-B. Not sure what that's in reference to, but thank you very much. $5 Miss Rhea Freedom Fighter. Good to see you, Legend. Wonder how the military feels when they are told if we fight them over there, we won't have to fight them over here.
Did you just call her a legend? And
Yeah, that's my nickname that I gave her from my first episode. It's leg-end, all caps.
Okay, so hold on.
So you do know how to say legend. That's just
Yeah,
an inside
yeah.
joke. Okay, got it.
Yes,
It's fine. I
yes.
call her Murph, so I get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
What Miss Real Freedom Fighter just said right there is literally why I joined the military. Because if we fight them over there, we don't have to fight them here. That was the most utter garbage that I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
I went over there and killed motherfuckers that don't even know what a fucking airplane is. And I was over there fighting those motherfuckers.
And we're still fighting them over here now.
Yeah, don't ever tell me that shit. We go over there and kill them so they can't get over here. Yeah, bullshit.
Well,
Bullshit.
And tell me what you think about this. And I don't mean to be offensive if this is the refrain that they like we are free because of someone has served in the military. No one that you went over and fought has actually threatened any of our liberties. The ones that
100%.
threaten our liberties are the people that were pulling the strings and causing the order chain that ended up going down to you.
100%.
Yeah, so that's something I've always taken issue is like, no, we're not free because our U.S. military is over in Afghanistan or in Iraq. We're not free because we have to ask permission to build a fucking shed on our property.
No, that
So,
is
yeah.
always, John, that is always something I have an issue with when people are like, oh, thank God for our troops. They're keeping us free. Our troops haven't kept us free in like 100 years.
Yeah.
And this is I'm a combat vet. So if you want to hate me for saying this, fuck you. I'm a combat vet. Our troops have not kept us granted, our troops keep us safe, but the conflicts that we've been engaged in, Iraq, Afghanistan, that didn't keep us safe.
No.
There was no safety in us going to Iraq. There was no safety in us going to Afghanistan. There's no safety in us being in Syria or Lebanon or any of that shit. There's
In
no
fact,
safety.
it made us more unsafe because of even the entire Muslim discussion that we had earlier this evening.
100%.
They created a situation.
Back
that
to the
caused
rant.
Yeah. All right, I'll go through them pretty quickly now. $2 from Emerald Dragon 1333. J-Triet needed popcorn. So
Agreed.
there's $2 for that.
I'm watching a movie.
All right, we got rated. Keith O'Higgins. Alpha, did you make that $1 from Keith O'Higgins? Alpha, did you ask that question to the same watch commander that made you remove your perp's cock ring? What? Yeah, Alpha's not here, so we'll skip that one. $5 J-Law Bronco. Alpha, you rule, Bubba. And then another YouTube link. And then J-Law Bronco for $2 said, so many words and nothing said. Not sure who you were referring to, but it's possible it was me. And I like to do that, so it's cool.
I don't think it was you.
No.
I'm thinking it's BB.
It's possible. Thank you, J-Law Bronco. And then $1 from Keith O'Higgins, Special Agent Jonathan Bouma arrested 3/17/25. So that was from his previous rant
Oh,
earlier.
okay. Thanks
All
for
right.
clarifying that.
Awesome.
Still don't
All right.
remember, so.
Go ahead.
Everybody, please hit the like button. It helps us out quite a bit wherever you're watching. 3 hours and 2 minutes
Is this a
on this
record?
show. It's one of our longer,
gotta be.
OnlyLands episodes.
Yeah.
What?
Real quick. The troll in the chat, watch woman on the wall, says most American young men join the military for the good. I stand with our soldiers. 100%. I'm not taking away from why we enlist and why we join. We join for the good. I went over to Afghanistan for the good. Unfortunately, we were lied to by our political overlords in DC. I'm not taking away from our troops when I say that. So yeah, I'll leave that at that.
Okay, so if you are watching us on Rumble, please drop into the chat and just drop a period or say what's up or hi or tell us your whole life story. It doesn't matter. The unique chatters metric also helps us out quite a bit. And we do appreciate that. So do a quick chat on your way out the door. Hit the like button if you haven't done it. If you are watching us on replay and you want to support the show, you can head to badlandsmedia.tv/boost and support us that way. Select OnlyLands from the drop down list, and we will read that, or someone will read, whoever's here will read that next week on the show. And with that, stay tuned tomorrow. The Badlands Blitz drops on the morning. That is only available on Substack this week. It is Ghost and Burning Bright talking about all of the crazy stories for the week. And then tomorrow night we have Flow with our buddy Cam here. I don't know if there is an alpha show still on Saturday.
I didn't see it
night.
on the schedule.
All right.
but,
So
who
then
knows?
DPH tomorrow night. I believe John he's in Florida, right? Or Georgia?
Nope,
or where,
he's
where is
not.
he?
He's not here in Florida.
He's not going to Florida?
He had a travel
He did
issue,
not.
right?
He did not.
Oh, he
had
couldn't
travel
get out?
issues. Nope. He could not.
Oh,
He
what a
could not get
bummer.
out.
Okay. Well, I don't know if he's going to be on DPH. I know that it was supposed to be Bernie Bright and Chris, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? That's why you should stay tuned, because it's always exciting here on Badlands Media. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate you very, very much, and have a wonderful weekend.
See ya.
Thank y'all.
See y'all.
Do we wait? Do we have an
Did you
outro
want to
video?
play? Yeah, I would say, do you want to
Outro.
play the video?
You have
How
to
long
take
is-
YouTube
J-Law
off.
Bronco.
Oh, but
It's 4
just
minutes.
Real
but-
quick, I'm
but-
pushing my show back tomorrow morning because I did not plan on being on here till 2:00 in the morning. So I'm gonna push it back till like noon.
Soft.
You're not going to sleep
Yeah.
in, though. It doesn't even matter.
Oh, I am. No, I'm gonna sleep in.
Okay.
It's like 2:00 in the morning. I don't go to bed this late ever.
Oh, man, Brian.
Okay, I think that we should, on our way out the door, hydrate elbows and moisturize soles. So that's what we're going to do.
Let's do it.
Everybody have a fantastic weekend. We will see you later. I need that link, Rhea. Murph, can you please give me the link, and I will. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
One hero, one mission to deliver softness to America.
No, Gigi, we can't stop your snacks, dude. We have to deliver all of these soft disclosure gift cards.
He goes by Zach Kane.
The motion detector.
Hey, stop fighting over the beer brush.
Life finds a way.
Hydrate your elbows, moisturize your soul. Feel the rhythm together. Makes you feel alive and let the lotion roll. Soft disclosure, hear the cry. Maximum softness, do or die.
Muffin, hit it.